Hi, how is everyone doing? Hi, hi Mitch, hi Devin, hi Jorge, and hello Pablo. Hi. How's everyone doing? I think I stayed a little late yesterday in order to get to master rank finally, 4 days before the end of the season. So yeah, thank you. I really appreciate the things. So yeah, I appreciate. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you for the pin message. Yeah, I really. Can you send it? That is so funny. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you everyone. Today we're gonna react to some videos I already selected. Today, instead of the usual few very long videos, we have a lot of short videos, quote unquote short videos. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's go to the basement. Whoa. We have like music. Yeah, that works. Oh, by the way, chat, did you see the tournament thingy? We have a tournament, right? I forgot about that. Let me see if I can get the image here. A little big. So we're gonna have an NR tournament. Now, what does that mean? Hello, Philip. Welcome. An NR tournament is like a format where only normal and rare cards are allowed. So no SR, no rare, no ultra rare, right? No super rare, no ultra rares. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. Next Saturday, not this week, but the following week, March 7th, we're gonna do that. I'm not gonna be participating, obviously. It's just for the members, the channel members on the YouTube side. Yeah. Why am I doing it like that? Because that way, at least I can have certain control of who participates. I'm gonna be the only caster. This is season 0. This is season 0. This is mostly a test to see how it works. This is just gonna be how it works, and then we're gonna have an actual proper tournament with actual rules. This is just testing. That's why also there is like a small prize that is like bragging rights, and you can choose the next emote. Why am I doing it like that? It's because if I put it like open for everyone and literally anyone can participate, I feel like it will be weird, right? Maybe people that don't care about the channel are there, and this is to make it about the community. I'm gonna do all for the Dinomorphia emote. You know, the funny part and why I went to the NR tournament, aside from it being obviously really cool, a really different format, is that this way people cannot complain and say, oh, it's because I don't have a meta deck. I only play I don't know, Dinomorphia. I only play Dinomorphia. I don't have a K9 deck. I don't have a Mitsurugi. I don't have a Dracotail. I only have my little cards. I cannot play. I will do it if I had all the time to play and get the gems or have the money, right? There is no excuse now. Anyone can craft anything in the NR format, okay? Dinomorph is full of UR? Yeah, exactly. There is a lot of decks that you can find in NR. It is apparently an actual competitive format in Japan. Like there is a Japanese community that do all of this. Oh my god! Ophelia Bell, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everyone. Yeah, that's my alarm. Hi, welcome raiders. Hello Kitar. Hi. My name is Pepper. I am a chef YouTuber who only plays Yu-Gi-Oh! I cook with my plays, yes. So yeah, how are you doing, Ophelia? What were you doing? Are you also playing Master Duel? Or please tell us about it. I was talking about a tournament that I am organizing, an NR tournament with just weak cards, very cheap cards. And the girl was playing Tokyo Ghostwire. Oh, wait, Tokyo Ghostwire, wait. I feel like I've seen it before. In something, but I don't know exactly what it is. But it's an action game, right? I think. NR is an interesting format. There is NR Discord for the format too. Oh, okay. So there are ways to craft then proper decks, right? Oh, so yeah. Yeah, today we're reacting to some video. Hello, Simon. Today we're gonna react to some video. You have to explain the rule, not the rules, right? We're gonna get into detail. We're gonna craft every single rule about how we're gonna do the, what is it called? Like the ban list, basically. We're gonna talk about how we're gonna, the seeding, right? Who's gonna face who, and stuff like that, right? Like more detail. Today I just wanted to let you know that is a thing that is happening. So yeah. Also, thank you again, Raiders. Really appreciate it. So I hope you enjoyed your stay. So yeah, is there something obvious that I'm forgetting to mention here? Hello, Laser. Welcome. If I'm forgetting something obvious, please let me know. I don't remember right now. Pepper, you should do a tournament of people only using pencil cards. What is pencil cards? What is that? What do you mean pencil cards? Oh, pendulum, bruh. A tournament for only pendulums. I mean, I guess. I feel like most people don't like it. If anything, we should make one for maybe only for fusions or something like that, right? With no links and no pendulums. What is that called? Alright, I'm pretty sure that's called Genesis. Yeah. We can do that. Oh no, I'm not a big fan of pendulums. I feel like most people aren't. I mean, it's cool, right? I play pendulum decks. But I don't think that is a thing that most people will be excited about. Everyone loves the other summon except pendulum. Well, yeah, and I cannot blame anyone for that. I cannot blame anyone for that. Definitely not. So yeah, let's start. Let's get rid of this. And let's go to here. An MBT video. Joel, hello. I wanted to clear up a confusion you had about dual link skills. There is two sets of skills, those exclusive to characters and archetypes skills, which aren't characters locked. The character skills are explanatory. It helps archetype to be that characters played. Wait. So every like player can have two skills, one for a character and one for the archetype? Is that what you're saying at the same time? Or you need to choose between one character and one archetype? I'm curious now. Let's go back to the music. I wish they remove pendulum limit summon limit from extra deck. I wish they remove pendulums in general. You can only have one skill per deck. So you have to choose between the archetype skill or the character skill. I feel like that will make sense, maybe? I don't know. My god, Pablo with that 85 stream streak. That's amazing. Yep, oh, okay, I get it. That makes sense. Oh no, I'm getting a lot of notifications for some reason. Please stop your stream to watch this. That is so funny. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that. No, dude, okay. Okay, cool. All right, let's watch. Fuck you, Lunary Draws. No, only one character skill and one archetype skills. Example, if you wanna play a skill, a Sky Striker, you use their skill, and if you wanna play something like use a Stardust Synchro, there's a skill for that. Okay. Okay. So they're kinda linked to their own archetypes, so I don't like that. I feel like there is not enough for creativity. I mean, I'm sure there is some window for creativity. Because skills, that's what seems cool to me about skills, right? The creativity and you know, the stuff. Yeah. Anyways, let's start with the video already, so we have time to watch all of them. The worst Yu-Gi-Oh formats you never played. Let's see. As a new player, as a kind of a new player, I actually don't know the worst formats. I only know the best format that we're playing right now. What is this?
And we are back with another thread. Today we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh's worst formats ever that didn't happen in the TCG. Over the 25
that didn't happen in the TCG. Okay, so we're talking about about formats that happen in other card games? Question mark? Like what? What is, aside from Duel Links and Master Duel, what else is there? I'm so curious.
Years that Yu-Gi-Oh's been around, there have been a ton of ways to enjoy the IP. From the paper card game in the TCG and the OCG, to official online simulators like Duel Links or Master Duel, to fan-created formats and spin-off video games. And the one constant in all of these is that things always tend to break. So today I want to focus on some of the more frustrating formats that didn't happen where you'd expect.
Okay.
And I'm beginning with this one. Are you guys familiar
with
I don't know what
I'm looking at.
Generation? I remember after college I was
Dual
shocked
Generation.
to see that there was an official way to play Yu-Gi-Oh online using an iOS device. It's this, Dual Generation. The
Yu-Gi-Oh for iPhone, interesting.
purpose of this application was you would go through like a series of duels that happened in the anime and then beat them 6 times a piece. It was just artificially designed to take forever. But you could also build your own deck based on the cards you win and duel other people online. That said, it was very difficult to get cards. There wasn't really a crafting system. It was just drops from individual duelists, and the drops left a lot to be desired, which meant
I can't imagine playing like this. Not being able to craft, it sounds insane. I want to play whatever I want to play, right? Because otherwise that puts new players at a huge disadvantage compared to people who have played from the start. I feel like it sounds like a cool idea, being able to get like cards like that, but you're at a disadvantage, right? That is not gonna get new players and the game is gonna fail. No crafting is why I quit Duel Links. That makes sense. I cannot blame you for that. Hello, Abilison.
You had to gacha pull, and it was a 2014 gacha. They didn't really
2014 gacha, holy.
Like yet. They were just like, give us $50,000 if you want something competitive. If memory serves, the best deck was Dragon Ruler, but I encountered it very little the few times that I actually booted up the competitive aspect of the game. That's because to get it, you'd have to shell out an unbelievable amount of money on a pack in which nothing was.
How much
this
are we talking about?
Sunset, so you know, good luck if you wanted to try this out for yourself. Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2006 on the Game Boy Advance. So if you're unfamiliar, the first couple World Champs games had world tournaments associated with them. In the spot that we would use for Master Duel, they would have people boot up their Game Boy Advances and link battle each other.
What? What? They were playing in a GBA? That's insane, dude. I never considered this something that could happen, because at the time there were actual cards, right? So they were playing in those oh my god, what are they called? Like the consoles that are not, yeah, whatever.
Worlds that year, Kenji Watanabe built a reversal quiz FTK deck.
Reversal
now, of course,
quiz.
you have to be at a staggeringly low life total for this to actually work, which seems impossible looking at the cards that you're seeing in front of you. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2006, there is a bug where Angel of Creation Venus can fail to find Mystical Shine Ball.
What do you mean can
just
fail?
Fire it and fire it and fire it and fire it, getting your life total down to the necessary amount of life to fire off your FTK tools. Event goers watched him win the final match in 2 turns. Dustin Knight says, Yu-Gi-Oh! Online Gunslinger event.
Oh my god, this looks disgusting. Dude, this looks so old. I cannot take it. No crafting point is good. They don't add it because you get too many cards. What? Too many materials mean you get too much materials to make cards? Is that what? What do you mean? But that's people hate FTKs unless it is an anime or funny deck. I mean, if it's consistent, then it shouldn't. Like, there shouldn't be a consistent FTK. It should be like a gamble at least. I mean, there shouldn't be a FTK, right? It should be like something that happens every what's it called? Every now and then. You think you want your players to be able to get cards in the card game? Yeah. I mean, I guess at the time people didn't understand psychology of consumers, and they were like, oh yeah, they're just gonna pay money. They are just gonna have to invest a lot of money, and we're gonna get so much money. It's not like they are gonna stop playing, right? Hi, Sans.
You had to win 7 singleton games in a row, and it was the only way to get Necrofear, Destiny Board, Relinquished, Ultimate Moth, and Dark Red Enchanter that were staples for Tier 5 jank.
Staples?
But winning them required you to play meta, and every game cost 5 cents. Damn! Take me back, baby. Kevin's got
5 cents to play, dude. I can't. I get 5 cents per dude. At least it's 5 cents. I've heard like before it was like there was another game where it was like $1 or $5 or something. 5 cents sounds doesn't sound that bad. Like with $1 you can have a whole afternoon of games. So I don't see the problem.
got a good one. The very first point list for Genesis. So Genesis format is in a good place now, but after its beta release, 1 million people played games and found things that obviously they didn't intend. One of those was that Mystic Mine was playable. Mystic Mine itself was a prohibitive amount of points. It was 100 if memory serves, but the cards that weren't were Metaverse, Demise of the Land, Planet Pathfinder, and Left Arm Offering, which meant it wasn't too hard to get to. After 2 days, they added point totals to all of those cards, and thankfully, we didn't have to see it again. For now, I've heard rumors that someone is brewing with Mystic Mine. Perhaps you'll see the list shortly. Foxcade's got a great...
I'm so scared, dude. I can't believe they did it 2 days. I wish it was like that. I wish... I wish Harakiri was banned, like, months ago. You know?
Great answer. While it got an update that swapped the Master Rule and Ban List to 2020 standards, Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution initially released with Master Rule 4, and a mix of the TCG and OCG 2019 ban list that left Gumblar Hand Loops and Rongo Turbo as the best decks for a year after they were banned in paper. I will say this is a perfect encapsulation of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2018. I just think that's like the worst ever. Man, they were giving this out in prizing until last month! I responded to this one because this is the exact type of answer I want to get. Last Card Standing, episode 25,
what?
Final episode. For those of you who are on
what is that?
Last Card Standing, Farfa made a tournament in which all the cards that won were banned. So by the 25th episode, people were playing with horse shit. Almost.
Oh, that sounds so cool! That sounds so cool! That is such a cool format. That is such a cool format. Oh my god. Hello, Minato. Welcome, welcome. It is a really cool... Oh, I want to watch that. I mean, that sounds like really old, right? Because I've never heard of that. No one has ever mentioned that. I've been getting into those kind of videos. Like right now I'm watching like the Saga Extreme from DC. I feel like that is really fun. Like I'm rooting for Farfa because he's playing Cyber Dragons. Yeah. Would recommend watching it in your own time. Yeah, definitely something that I cannot watch on stream, right? I watch it while I'm working. I have it in second monitor. I'm watching like a tournament, and sometimes it gets so hyped that I that I just rotate and I'm just watching that, like procrastinating instead of actually doing my work. So yeah, I've been rooting for my boy dog. Yeah. Dude, it's so hard to root for MBT, like because he's so smug about it. Nah, I love him. I love his videos, but like, you know, let's see. My day is going great. Thank you so much. I started my day being a master player in Master Duel, so I'm happy about that. Let's see how long that's gonna last.
No spell trap removal, so it was nearly impossible to justify the remaining extra deck monsters. Before we petitioned Farfa to let us ban about 300 trap cards, this Pac-Man list would trap you under your own Junk Sleep Mysterious Guard. That's like so bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read those
they went on
cards.
further to say some might argue LCS 24 was actually worse, and that's probably a pretty decent case to argue because the best deck strategy by far was this horrible engine where you would redeemable jar the Great Noodle Inversion every turn so you could search anything. The best spell trap removal was Twister. There have been a lot of Duel Links answers in this thread, but this is the one I'm choosing to hone in on. It says, this is
the
from
Duel
Victor Kirby. It
Links.
says, Duel Links has multiple unfun FTK formats. The most painful was when people...
Wait. What is this exactly? What exactly is this? There is no field spell and there is no the world. How does this work?
Realized you could FTK with Nurse Reficule, the Fallen One, and the Paths of Destiny. Now, this is a classic burn FTK in Yu-Gi-Oh! Called
Hello, Samuel.
Nurse Burn, but this one was a little different because it required use of a glitch with
a
the
glitch
Sartorius skill.
Bruh.
So the Sartorius skill, Master of Destiny, has been playable a number of times. It changes the outcomes of your coin flips, provided you've got some Arcana Force monsters in your deck. It says when you toss a coin, the result will always be heads for the first 3 coin tosses. Your first normal draw will be skipped. This has been nerfed a number of times. But the glitch said that your opponent's tosses would also always be heads. That means you
Interesting. See, interesting. This is why I don't like Duel Links.
can force them to flip wrong on Paths of Destiny and take the Nurse Reficule burn damage. Cool, right? Yeah, rotation Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know.
What is rotation,
I mean,
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Far be it from me to defend my honor on this again. Farfa's shaking the Genesis tree right now. You can tell he makes a living saying formats he doesn't play are bad. The first sequence of rotation, Salamangreat was the best deck by a lot. If this looks like a lot of their top tier cards, we also gave them like Rage, if I remember correctly. Rage or Roar, I don't think it was both. And of course they pub stomped everyone. The irritating part of rotation Yu-Gi-Oh! Is we nerfed Salad like 4 times and people kept winning with it even when it was almost unquestionably not the best deck in the room. By the end of the format, the Salamangreat deck was like Foxy as an advantage engine, playing like prime.
Yeah, I feel like I need a little bit of context on what is
there
rotation.
Were like tournaments where someone would
I mean, I can
up a play into an onboard trick against Salamangreat, and I almost wanted to be like, can I just play this for you? I can't have Salamangreat winning again. Every single one of these tournaments was engineered to specifically get a banger tweet for Farfa. In Master Duel, during the February 2022
what is
Exceeds
this?
Festival, you got 100 points for winning a festival game and 50 points for losing. So people figured out almost immediately, since surrenders didn't count, the best way to min-max point grinding was just to kill yourself. And as a result, they optimized a deck designed to lose yourself the game. They patched this by making a win count for 500, which has really saved me a lot of time personally. I love progression series.
I love
and
that.
all the
I
other
love
ones,
that.
But when they hit Invasion of Chaos, they basically play the exact same list safely until Synchro or Xyz format, or both duelists gentlemen's agree out of it or ban it. This is actually why we made progression playoffs work the way it did, because after you unlock the Chaos deck, there is no reason to play a single card printed during GX. Like, nothing comes remotely close for like years in Sealed. Of course, says if you play against
There's no way, right? He tried to make rotation in Yu-Gi-Oh! With custom sets, but everyone just kept playing Salamangreat. Wait, what? He tried to make a rotation in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, that's what I assumed, right? But like, with custom sets. Oh, custom sets. But if there is a rotation, how do people keep playing Salamangreat? If there is a rotation, shouldn't they get out of rotation? Is that not how it works?
against only the AI, you'll never experience this, but the format for this game is Infernity/Frog FTK format. Hilarious. It's made even worse because the animations are so slow and agonizing, as the game was not designed for 30-step combos. The game is still goated, though. I will say, as
you go that far to see
what
what drop early. That's so funny.
My best to play like some kind of bullshit FTK or OTK deck. The reward for sitting through 55 animations was you got to know you were breaking the limits of the game. Lettuce has a good one. In the early days of Rogues format, a fan format in which every card that ever topped was banned, there was a long period in which the best deck by a mile was Weather Painters, as the only deck capable of putting out Omni Negates.
What is Weather Painters, dude?
It's funny to think the way to balance this would be for some enterprising young fellow to go to an event with Weather Painter and top. Like, I'm doing this for the benefit of a format that specifically excludes me right now. This one's funny. For a brief time in Common Charity from July 2025 to November 2025, Oshlon U1000 became the bane of the format as it turned Melodious from a strong tier 1 deck into a tier 0 deck. They went from setting up 2 Omnis and a rank 4 to also setting up a Searched Christia and Draco Sepelia. They explain the combo here. Ostinato's a 1 card. The Omni negates are Vortex Dragon and AI.
I don't know these cards.
Search Cyber Sage. You reveal it off Oculon.
I don't know half these cards.
Christia, then you pendulum out the Christia. Sage fuses into Drago and links into Decode. God, this is a deck that really makes me think some alt formats still got it, bro. Some alt formats still got it. This is beautiful. Deckmaster is a great answer here. The official Deckmaster rules are just incomprehensible. If they work how they read, there's really only one Deckmaster worth playing, and it's the Last Warrior from Another Planet. Absent that, it's like Nightmare Griffin or maybe Spell or Trap Canceller based on what flavor of burn your Last Warrior opponent is playing. I would say this is probably the best answer in the thread if I was confident a single game of Deckmaster had ever been played by humans. In conclusion, if you're frustrated,
interesting. No NR format. I'm so curious. What are the best decks in NR format?
Whether you're playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dating Simulator or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Try Not to Come challenge, there's probably a way that some spike has min-maxed it.
The what? I want to see a no UR format in...
Okay, I will say this about the Exodia Genesis deck. Why are people pretending like this is good? Like, is this just like Boogeyman of the Week type shit?
Is this not good? I've been hearing a lot about this. Is this not good? Like, what is the win rate of this? Because this seems like really consistent. Maybe I'm dumb.
People who've never played a second of Genesis.
I've never played a second of Genesis.
The best deck in Genesis. This got 3rd place at a giant card. It didn't top at all. Like, what are you talking about?
Hi, Dyer here. Joseph doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. The issue isn't that it's a good deck. The issue is that it has a positive win rate. If you play Genesis on DB, you will only see this deck.
Thank you, Dyer. Thank you, Dyer. See, that's why we need like editors like this. The editor just pops up and say, actually, the YouTuber in question is, my boss is wrong. Actually, you know, I deserve the like goes for Dyer, not for MPT. So yeah, cool video, really cool. Thank you for suggesting this. Oh my god. Hold on, let me get a little ad break really quick. Bro, what is going on? What is this? How long will this stream last? 3 hours. Next video is the gadget. We're gonna see that gadget archetype. Dude, I want to make a tier list of the music in masterduel. I really want to. And honestly, this is one of those that is gonna be up there. Well, hold on. Like the labyrinth music is S tier. It's so hype. I thought I pressed stop streaming and I was like shocked. Masterduel has so much solid music. It's not only solid, but hype. On the K9 that I've been listening a lot lately in the streams. 3 phases. I feel like the phase A, this one, it's like, you know, you get in the mood. You get like, oh yeah, you're actually investigating the case. You're thinking. It's perfect for thinking, in my opinion. It's like I'm looking at my hand. I'm thinking, is the opponent also? The opponent also has the case for K9 field, right? So I'm like, should I activate a hand trap? I love this. I love this song. It's so cool. But then it goes to phase B and it goes weird. it gets a little weird, you know? Like, I feel like this should be more ahead. It shouldn't be like here. This is not climax exactly, but it's still cool. Wait, do each field has their own music or something? Yes, their own music with different phases depending on the stage of the game you're playing, or the state of the game, I guess. When you summon an ace monster, a monster with animation, the music changes. Do me a quick favor and look up Ring theme for Duel Links. Trust me, you will love it. Okay, hold on. Just because you ask nicely, okay? Ring Duel Links. Okay, I really like this one. Is it this one? I've never seen this character. I don't know how to describe this. Hello, you say. Welcome, welcome. I mean, yeah, it sounds cool. I like it. Happy to see all 4 girls got the same leitmotif in them. The 4 girls. Mako Tsunami, whole people got a banger team. Oh, I think I've heard that. Jack Atlas has the best team in Duel Links. The Arc 5 girls. Okay, so what is she? From what universe? I will say Synchro? Synchro? Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like Synchro. The Yuto girlfriend from Mark 5. Interesting. Okay, we can have a stream to listen to the music. Right now, we're gonna go for this video. Yugioh? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Oh, chat misinformation again. Amazing. Alright. Let's watch the video. Yu-Gi-Oh! Gadget and Boot Up Archetype. Boot Up? Wait, hold on.
The color gadgets and their supporting archetype, the Boot Up archetype, are a series of level 4 machine monsters.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go again. Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. Gadget and Boot Up archetype. Let's watch.
The color gadgets and their supporting archetype, the Boot Up archetype,
I don't know
are a
those.
series
I only
of
know
level
like
4
the
machine
original
monsters
gadgets
that
and the
specialize
trap
in
card,
a
I
cog in the
think.
machine playstyle.
And the ones in like
replenishing your hand with more gadgets and then slotting them together.
yeah,
to
that
create
one.
One cohesive unit that takes the form of an overwhelming trap monster. The gadget's anime debut was shown when they were used by Yugi while independent from the Pharaoh.
Wait, it was only used in the last duel of Duel Monsters? It wasn't used after that? Or rather before? I'm sure like someone used them after. But it's weird that they were never like used before. They're so iconic.
Part of the ensemble of cards Yugi used to show his growth as a duelist. Individually, yeah, the gadgets are small, but when they sync up together, their potential was revealed. These gadgets were the original 3, red, yellow, and green gadgets. Together, they serve as the core of the engine and create.
Oh my god, there's so many cards. Okay, I think I've seen this one, the brown one. I haven't seen silver or gold or the others. Alright, this is gonna be an interesting video.
Real world in 2007's Structure Deck Machine Revolt. Each one has the ability to search for the next one upon normal summon or special summon. Red gadget, when summoned, searches yellow gadget. Yellow searches green, and green searches red.
Nice,
And
thank you for
around
the-
and around we go, until all 3 copies of each are searched.
For showing it in a
If you're
game.
a true Yu-Gi-Oh player and you just refuse to read even your own cards, well, there's a handy-dandy way of remembering what searches what without reading a single word. All you need to do, look at the artwork backgrounds of each of these.
Shut up.
The color of the gadgets.
No, I've never noticed this. There is a green. So wait. When this card is summoned, you can add. So this has been summoned like by the green one, I guess. This has been summoned by the red one, and this has been summoned by. It's the other one, right? So the color that is not here is the one that it searches. Interesting. Interesting.
Eyes reveals what it searches for, and the smoke in the background reveals what searched it. Now the question might become, okay, it's cool to search for more of these monsters, but what will more of these small monsters do? What's the benefits of searching for these cards? Well, there's a thing called deck thinning. Deck thinning is considered good because it removes filler from your deck. By doing this, it increases your chances of drawing into your combo cards to help you go for the win. By filtering out the small pieces early, you ensure future draws are high impact rather than basic resources.
Interesting.
Especially important in the late game where things have really started to ramp up. Because the gadgets released alongside the ancient gears, historically they have been perfect partners to them. This is because using the gadgets as tributes for certain ancient gears grants them beneficial effects. There are currently 5 ancient gears that benefit if a gadget is used in cohesion with them.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know they were like so intertwined. That is so cool.
These are Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon. Green gadget gives it piercing, red gives it 400 burn when it deals damage, and yellow gives it
Wait. It's really normal by tributing these monsters. If this card. Okay.
600 burn when it destroys a monster. Ancient Gear Gadgetron Chimera. Green increases its attack.
What is
by
that quality?
300.
What happened?
Red gives it 500 burn if it attacks directly, and yellow gives it 700 burn if it destroys a monster by battle. Ancient Gear Hydra. Any gadget monster
I've
will give
never
this
seen
monster
this.
the ability to attack all monsters the opponent controls. Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Any gadget monster will give this monster a second attack. And finally, there's an in-archetype Ancient Gear gadget called Ancient Gear Gadget, who can become any of the gadget monsters. In fact, outside of Yugi using the gadgets, we actually see Yuri from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 kind of use them, as he uses
That's
Ancient Gear Gadget to
crazy.
become red gadget. So
That's crazy. With this, I'm surprised Crawler never used gadgets in the anime. Right. That's weird, right? I feel like that would make sense. That would make sense. But yeah, at least we saw them together in the in Arc 5.
that it can power up his Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon and give it double attacks. The gadgets also work really well with the Machina archetype. This is
Okay.
because, like Ancient
What?
Gears,
Earth?
Machina released with the gadgets in their structure deck, 2010's Machina Mayhem. The Machina monsters require machines to be discarded in order to be summoned. So the gadgets being paired with them makes sense, as they serve as the perfect resource to facilitate their summons. However, the gadgets aren't just a resource to power up others. They have their own power-ups by being merged into massive defensive structures. These are the trap monsters. The original, of course, being Stronghold the Moving Fortress. Used by Yugi in his duel against the Pharaoh, it's a 2000 defense point trap monster that jumps up to a 3000 attack monster if you control the original trio on the field alongside it.
That's so weird, dude.
Version in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel spin-off,
this is so
where
cool.
it has a maximum form called Maximum Gadget the Moving Fortress. Get red, yellow, and green on the field, merge them
Dude, that is so cool. Oh my god, why can't we have cool things like this in the actual game? Yes, I refuse to call Rush Duel an actual game. Rush Duel art is insane. Dude, this is so good. I love this.
together and you get this monstrosity. Now, fast forward a bunch of years and the gadgets evolved from simple cogs into powerful conductors with the release of Gold and Silver Gadget in 2016's The Dark Side of Dimensions movie pack. In the movie where these cards came from, we see a much
they're in the
older and more
movie.
confident Yugi. building his evolved deck. In it, we see Gold and Silver Gadget. Both had the effect that when summoned, they let you special summon any level 4 machine monster from your hand. Then, if they're destroyed, they float into a different level 4 gadget from the deck. Meaning, just like the original 3, these two create a perfect loop. Silver Gadget is destroyed, it summons Gold Gadget. Gold Gadget is destroyed, it summons Silver Gadget. Rinse and repeat until you run out of them. Then just go into the original 3 gadgets. Summon Red, add Yellow, add Green.
That's so interesting.
However, that's not all we got from the movie. Yugi also used them with his new upgraded combined form, Metal Holes and Moving Blockade.
Those are the nipples. No. Oh my god.
This trap monster targets any number of level 4 machines and equips them to itself. It then absorbs their attack. It also acts as a taunt, forcing your opponent to target it with attacks and effects. Finally, we would get a modern day Link gadget, Platinum Gadget. It's a Link 2 that can't be used as a Link material the turn it is summoned. It lets you special summon a machine monster in your hand to a zone it points to, and if it is ever destroyed, it summons a level 4 gadget from the deck, meaning you can summon Gold or Silver to start your loops, adding even further to how perfect these cards fit together. We have one final stronghold trap monster, Powerhold, the Moving Battery. This trap monster
No, that
equips
doesn't
one
look like a gadget
directly
anymore.
from the deck to itself, and then gains double its attack. So if the gadget cards are all about synergy and adding more to the hand, the metal holds are all about optimizing them and getting them to the most powerful form, then the boot up support archetype facilitates this. These cards help bridge the gap between the small cogs and the big bosses. We have cards like Boot Up Admiral Destroyer Dynamo. It is summoned by sending 2 gadgets
an R
from your
card.
hand or face up on your field to the grave. It
Interesting.
cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while you control a gadget monster, or a gadget monster is equipped to a monster. Once per turn, you can target one of a card on the field and destroy it. We have Boot Up Soldier, Dread Dynamo. While you control a gadget monster, this card gains 2000 attack. Boot Up Corporal, Command Dynamo. You can target up to 2 machine gadget monsters you control or in your grave with different
No,
names.
these cards are in an R.
And then
You can
this
actually
targets
build
this
a
card.
deck with
Gains
this
1000
for the NR
attack
tournament.
each monster equipped to it by this effect. Finally, we have Boot Up Order Gear Charge. When this card is activated, you can target any number of gadget monsters you control that are equipped to a monster, special summon them. You can discard 1 card, add 1 Boot Up Admiral Destroyer Dynamo from your deck to your hand. Boot Up Order Gear Force.
Jesus.
When either player's monster declares an attack and all monsters you control are face-up machines, destroy attack position monsters your opponent controls up to the number of machine monsters you control. Also, honorable mention
Okay, so
to
wait. What exactly does... What?
machines. Destroy the player's monster declares an attack, and all monsters you control are face-up machines. Destroy attack position monsters your opponent controls up to the number of machine monsters you control. Also,
Okay, so why is this... Why is that better than Mirror Force? Why not just use Mirror Force? Am I missing something?
honorable mention to All Out Attacks, which doesn't really have too much to do with the gadgets, but it has them on the artwork. And to Gadget Trio and Stronghold the Hidden Fortress, which are the shining sarcophagus versions of the gadget cards.
I knew that. I knew
That
those.
is the
Those are the
gadgets
ones I
and
forgot.
up archetypes done. Check out one of these videos if
Well,
you fancy. If not, don't forget to subscribe. But other than that,
Very short video. Very short video. Interesting. I liked it. I wish we had a little bit of a how the whole strategy works, right? Not or a combo or something. Because I get the cards. All the cards were explained, and they seem fun. I might build this actually for for Saturday duels. Honestly, because it seems like very cheap, right? It's an NR. I might wait. I might do it like after the stream. Honestly, that sounds really cool. But yeah, thank you. I wasn't recording. I wasn't recording. Oh my god. Fuck. Alright, whatever. Why are Yu-Gi-Oh turns so long? Let's watch.
A man played one turn of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in 15 minutes. This is what happened to his brain.
Wait, hold on. Why are Yu-Gi-Oh turns so long? Let's watch.
A man played one turn of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in 15 minutes. This is what happened to his brain.
What happened?
RR is a career YouTube and Twitch streamer presenting to a YouTube video with sudden onset frustration.
Don't you love it?
Takes in his rants.
Every now and then there is a big YouTuber who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That just like starts talking about it and it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the worst piece of shit ever, and everyone is like, actually, you're not wrong, but I don't like how you say it.
And begins to reflect, posting response after response, defending their enjoyment of a children's card game. As a streamer, RR's journey blossomed through other card games, games which prioritize back and forth gameplay. After being exposed to Yu-Gi-Oh! Through his involvement in numerous non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Player Rates Yu-Gi-Oh! Card videos, RR would take the fateful plunge and launch Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. The recorded
Huge mistake.
gameplay features him crossing paths with Rika Sanavalon, where in a 15-minute duel, RR plays for about 3 minutes, causing an immediate spike to his cortisol. Corti, meaning arousing feelings of being, and soul meaning bozo, leading to an angry rant where we are now. To understand why you can do so much in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Turn, we have to turn to what Yu-Gi-Oh! Lacks.
What's
A resource system.
Oh,
Unlike
energy
Yu-Gi-Oh!, other
and
card games
mana.
have a resource system, something that limits the amount of play that each player can make. And while some Master Duel players struggle against the timer where 300 seconds is not enough time to execute their twisted game plan, other games took a more sensible approach. In the game Hearthstone, both players are bound to a mana system. Each card or
one
hero
mana.
has a mana cost associated with it, meaning each decision brings you closer to running out of resources and having to pass back to your opponent. Furthermore, the mana pool in Hearthstone ramps up as the game progresses, meaning, unfortunately, duelists, no FTKs. However, Yu-Gi-Oh!, taking inspiration from all the card games around it, said, nah, we're good, I'ma do me. The game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has no overarching.
I don't know. I feel like there is a discussion every time about this, about the resource, and it's like the cards are the resource. That's what makes it cool. The game is too slow. I play Pokemon and it's too slow sometimes. You know, it's more fun like this, but at the same time it gets boring because the opponent can do so many things. It's like one of those things. When I do it, it's so cool. When the opponent does it, please let me be free.
Resource system limiting the combos you can pull off. It's just as Bethesda lead Todd Howard once said, you see that entire hand? You can play it.
What is this video, dude? Yu-Gi-Oh! You're so funny. You kind of need the right mindset to play more in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I feel like you either like it or hate it at this point. Love it or
It's
hate it.
entirely possible to be given a 5-card hand in Yu-Gi-Oh!, use all 5 cards to craft a board of monsters, all while refilling your hand with more cards, which of course, you can activate. Interestingly, there's exactly one expendable once per turn resource in Yu-Gi-Oh! Once per turn, each player can conduct exactly one normal summon,
Okay.
a level 4 or lower monster. And that's about it. Now the nitpicky among you might say, well, at least the cards in hand is a limited resource, right? Wrong.
Wrong. You can get all
Yu-Gi-Oh!
of them.
is not governed by cards in hand, but rather by number of activations available. What's the difference? Well, let me introduce you to what Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have affectionately nicknamed the second hand.
The second, oh, the graveyard.
The graveyard is the zone where expended cards go and where there are monsters on the field and spells and traps that you've blown.
Some decks is not only the hand of the graveyard, but also the banish. The banish zone? What is it called? A banishment pile? I don't know what it's called. Yeah. Your sound is way louder than the video. Is it better now? Because I raised it a little bit.
However, many cards have effects that trigger only when in the graveyard, meaning that you can have an opponent with no cards in hand, but with a hefty graveyard, fully rebuild their resources with Grandpa's Tombstone and Grandma's Ashes. This is why the community has given the graveyard the moniker, the second hand. Even more sinister for someone unfamiliar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the role of the extra deck from which monsters can be summoned from at any time to further build advantage without utilizing their cards in hand, effectively making it a third hand.
A third
Being restricted
hand.
by activations does have drawbacks, however. Have you ever wondered
This is what killed Yu-Gi-Oh! This is what wow.
on those cards? Why do Yu-Gi-Oh cards have so much text? Well, not all the text is just raw power, as almost every card printed in the last few years
Jesus.
have at least one line of text which restricts using the same cards or effects multiple times in a single turn. While Ash Blossom...
Yeah, I feel like that should be just an icon, right? Like, you can only use this effect of Ash Blossom Joy Spring once per turn. That should be an icon. That should be like a little, not a star, but a little, I don't know, like a little cross or something, right? To represent that effect. You don't have to write the whole thing.
Joyous Spring is an incredible card that almost everyone runs 3 copies of. Being usable only once per turn means drawing 3 in your opening hand is just as good as 1 copy and 2 Burger King coupons.
No.
Speaking
The
of
Burger King coupons are way more useful. Actually, I want Burger King now.
Which Ash Blossom is, of course, a hand trap, which is a category of card designed specifically as a right to bear arms against oppressive first turn tyrants. Another way that Konami has attempted to rein in the power of Wombo Combo is to add restrictions to their cards, usually in the form of summoning restrictions, which restrict what type of monsters can be summoned for the rest of the turn. Like how the powerful monster spam deck Dragon Link uses the card Rocket Tracer, which locks the user into summoning only dark monsters from the extra deck.
You know, that is so funny, because if you're playing these cards that lock you into something, you usually don't play cards that are gonna get locked out of it, right? So that doesn't really mean anything for the game itself. It means something for how you build your deck. That's it. And why will someone play something like, I don't know, Cyber Dragon with K9? They sound like they have synergy, right? But Cyber Dragon locks you into machines, and then you cannot use your K9 cards unless you do it in a very specific order, which was another what is the word that I'm looking for? Something else that you have to think about in order to play it. Now that sounds correct, but that's why people don't play that, right? That's why people don't mix that usually, unless you're a masochist.
Restricting plays to a measly couple hundred cards, including some of the most powerful negation and extension tools in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Unfortunately, despite having the foresight to put these sort of restrictions on powerful archetypal cards, some of the most powerful cards ever released in the past few years seem to forego these restrictions.
How so?
Sprite Elf is an extremely powerful card which supports all level 2s instead of just Sprite. This, of course, rocketed its native deck Sprite to the second best deck in the format, just behind the other deck of using Sprite Elf. The presence of these restrictions often make or break cards, where either all decks are able to play the same broken combo line enabled by a card with no restriction, or you're forced to play a deck full of Flower Guardians. Really, I think a lot of it can also be tracked to one-card combos, which are exactly what they sound like. Combos which maximize the value you can get off a single card, which leads to hyper-consistent, long combo chains.
I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, chat, but do you think one-card combos should exist? I really feel like that shouldn't be a thing. Like, at least a one-card combo should just go into something weak. I just don't like how a one-card combo can get into a board full of 5 negates. Now, that doesn't sound correct. Now, that sounds not good at all, actually. I don't think that's a controversial opinion, right? I feel like people don't talk too much about one-card combos. No, but I feel like that at this point it's like too hard to fix. Like, what are you gonna do? Ban all one-card combos? One-card combos can exist, but they need to be balanced. Well, yeah. Flower Carding, I remember that one. Yeah, it was played in something, I don't remember in what. I played against it one time. Back then, one card normal summon will get you one negate or interaction. Nowadays, it gets you an entire board. I mean, I guess one negate or interaction sounds correct, kinda, if you play it right. but definitely entire board is not okay. But what are we supposed to do? Ban like EXT Ryseal? What are we gonna do? Ban Habakiri? Right? I don't know.
Even the most unknown pack filler, only seen on a cultishly devoted YouTube channel archetype that you could imagine,
What is the worst Yu-Gi-Oh
probably
deck?
has some one-card combo
Eye of
setup that
Justice.
goes at least +3. But while it seems that Yu-Gi-Oh has irreversibly spiraled down a route of power creep, where the intrinsic game design had led us to a point of no return, I have to ask, does it have to be this way? After the Link summoning era brought us the likes of Firewall Dragon, enabling combos
The
extending
GOAT.
beyond 20 summons, as well as YCS champion Jesse Cotton comboing off on an official Konami livestream for 8 minutes against a literal child playing UFO Turtle.
This is always gonna follow Jesse and the Yu-Gi-Oh community. This is forever gonna be there. People will always talk about this, no matter what. I feel like it's a coin flip. Every time I watch a video essay, this dude has to be mentioned, right? At least like 50% of the time, this gets me destroyed the child. And he said it himself, right? He FTKs not only children but everyone, right? Those fists are rated E for everyone, yeah. I don't know, what was I trying to say?
Konami had enough. Rather than introducing a new shiny mechanic as they had done for each generation prior, Konami went, fine, we'll create our own Yu-Gi-Oh! With draw 5s and passing. But while Rush Duels was billed as a completely different, simplified product, Konami was tinkering with ways to rein in the fun for the modern game. Instead of watching combo players spin their wheels for days at a time to set up a mid-board, why not just cut the middleman out, offering power at a fraction of the time?
What?
2022 Branded Despia format is the poster child for this design. Branded Despia could achieve its standard end board with just 3 summons. Its main rival at the time, Sword Soul, might be the most perfected example of this quick and powerful design philosophy. And no, I'm not beating the allegations, I'm gassing up
Sword
Soul
Soul
again.
Simp.
Sword Soul can set up 3 interruptions and a card draw in as
Oh my
little
God.
as 6 summons. Tired of reading cards that disappear just as quickly as they pop up, leaving no time to read their abilities even if they matter to the game state? Well, watch out, tuner out of nowhere! Why make many summons when few summons can do the trick? This sort of design feels perfect for the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Can continue being the balls-to-the-wall power fantasy where the perfect one card can reverse any situation like the anime had envisioned,
Jesus.
while saving new players the frustration of having to read 20 cards for a combo that ends with them immediately surrendering.
But like, does that actually fix things? Making cards like that makes it more like easy to learn or easier to watch? But does that make the game better? I guess it doesn't fix. Yeah, it doesn't fix anything, right? It doesn't make the game better. It just streamlines the same thing. I guess it will be easier to follow for new players, easier to follow for spectators that don't want to sit there. I watched a video of Joshua Smith playing playing against DDD deck, and he was just sitting there eating for 8 minutes. He was just eating his meal for 8 minutes while the opponent was comboing. And then he finished his meal and then he just sat there like waiting for the opponent to finish their combo. And then the funniest part is that he kept playing and forcing interactions and the opponent just lost because he ran out of time. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes you feel like Yu-Gi-Moto. Your cards
No.
effortlessly slamming left and right onto the board, nearly unstoppable. It is unlike
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of why I like Sky Striker. It's more streamlined because there is only one monster on the field, right? It seems more streamlined. But always, obviously, for someone who doesn't play Sky Striker, you will see, oh, what is this guy doing? He's just like drawing like spells. He just keeps drawing spells. He activated Engage like 6 times this turn. What the hell? Actually, no, I think you can only activate it like 5 times. Let me think. Yeah, I think you can only activate it 5 times. Unless I'm I'm missing. Like in a regular Sky Striker deck, you can only activate it like 5 times per turn. I feel. Yeah, Rush Duel is better to learn. No, I don't think so. To be fair, you need an Excel spreadsheet to play the deck. I can respect that. Yeah, no, I don't respect it actually. I think it's cringe.
Any other card game due to its lack of restraints and its lack of resources. But at the very least, Konami seems aware of this issue and have been designing cards in the future to improve upon it. Though, if you're looking for old school set 1 pass style Yu-Gi-Oh, unfortunately, I think that ship has sailed.
Yugi Boomer detected. Nah, I like it. I like it. I like the game. I'm playing K9 right now, and I like it. It's not as combo heavy as other ones, but I like it. So yeah, thank you so much for the recommendation. Really cool video. Dang it! I appreciate all the more in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even got an Edison deck. I read an Edison deck. That sounds fun. What do you play in Edison? I'm curious. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get the music. While we wait. Oh, so awesome! You should dual monster rules, but you can summon without limit. You can summon without limit. Nowadays kids, which do you think they play Rush or Master One? I have no idea what you're saying. I'm so sorry. I like this. Wait, this is key card? This is not phase B. Oh, then it's climax. It's a normal key card and climax. Okay. So this is what happens when you summon a cool card on the field. And then it goes to the climax. What is the climax? When there is nothing in the opponent's field and you're about to attack, I think. Oh, you're gonna cut it there? Dude. Alright, this is hype. Oh my god. No way, dude, the sax? You're about to go for game theme. Okay, that's amazing then. But then you don't, right? You get hit by an effect veiler. And not effect veiler, what am I talking about? Battle fader, yeah. Hold on, I got this in the recommended.
Okay, here's the Sky Striker. Ooh, okay. We're playing Songs of the Dominators without a search target. Just because it's like a solid hand trap in Sky Striker, because you don't really need the hand effect. If you have no monsters in your graveyard, you can activate this card from your hand. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, negate that effect. Then if you have a trap in your grave, you can add a Dominus card from your deck to your hand. If you activated this card from your hand, you cannot activate the effects of monsters in your hand, graveyard, and banishment until the end of the next turn.
I don't know.
They are playing this without a target, so you will not be able to search with this ever, but you do just get like a basically non-targeting imperm, which is interesting because it cannot be dodged. It can also negate some effects that imperm cannot negate, because it says when your opponent activates a monster effect,
what is this extra deck? 3 Kagaris? 2 Zeeks? I feel like we're missing something important here. Wait, what are we missing? We're missing something important in the extra deck, I'm pretty sure. What? Hold on, I need to open my game. Wait. What is this extra deck? Hold on. There is no way you can play all those cards. Hold on, let me open my game really quick. What do I play? Oh, it's because I play what is this called? It's because I play Ultimate Slayer and Super Polymerization. Like always one of those. That's why I don't have space for all of this. Okay. I like Ultimate Slayer. What can I say? This is for a different type of deck, definitely. With 2 Pot of Desires, I think it's called. Extravagance? I think it's Desires, right? It makes sense. It's the one that banishes 10 cards from your... from the top of your deck. Yeah. Hello, Inti. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Kobayashi. We're watching some videos. And I got distracted by this. I was like curious of this Sky Striker. I need to pronounce it properly, so Farfa don't make fun of me. How are you? I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Oyama, failed cards and mechanics. All right, I'm so curious about this. Sorry, that was really loud. Let me see that.
If you're a player who lives for the goofy archetypes, there's no way you can skim through them without recognizing the Ojamas. This Speedo-wearing trio have had their faces in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG from being Chaz's underrated powerhouse in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX to being designed in a goofy artwork all throughout Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, I think that volume is fine. I'm more surprised by the new quick play spells that returns cards from field and hand being at 1. Quick spell that returns cards from the field and hand. Being at 1. What are you talking? Lemnis Gate? Is Lemnis Gate at 1? Is Lemnis Gate at 1? Oh, the player was playing it at 1, but that doesn't mean that it's limited, right? No, I feel like you only play one of those. You only play one of those. I don't think you play... Oh, the list was running 1. Are you talking about the non-target return spell? That's Lemnis Gate. You only play 1. You don't need more of that. I guess because you banish it, you could play 1 more. Interesting. Hello, Raven. Wait. Hi. You say hello out of nowhere, like you were right here. But hi, sorry, I think I missed you. I missed like when your first message. That's what I mean. I know I said it in a weird way. I'm sorry. I how they return my sack to my extra deck. That's what you deserve. Nah, I'm just kidding. Wait, what is this? Oh my god, I keep getting cool recommendations in the...
Pot of Extravagance falls into the category of Consistency Booster. You can banish 3 or 6 random cards
This
from your
is
extra deck face down to draw 1 or 2
such
cards.
a weird card.
It has a few other restrictions, but basically, if you're playing a deck that doesn't really need the extra deck that much, this card allows you to use your extra deck as a resource for free +1 in card advantage. And generally, with how valuable even 1 card draw is at Yu-Gi-Oh!, this is normally worth it for all kinds of decks that don't make heavy use of the extra deck like Labyrinth, Flu, or Stun decks. However, since this card is such a no-brainer staple for degenerate type decks, it's usually restricted on some kind of ban list depending on the meta that you're playing in. Pot of Extravagance falls into the category.
Yeah, weird card, weird card. Okay, let's watch the video. So many suggestions. What offer we? What order we even going? Dude, I don't know. Since there is so many suggestions, like I just pick between the things that I think most people are gonna like, and I'm basing this on how the videos do on my channel, right? Because some videos do way better than others, right? So I'm gonna react to the type of videos that do better and not as much videos that don't do well, right, in the channel. So, but I also every now and then will watch something that interests me in particular, right? Also, just a reminder, chat, I am not gonna react to scenes from the anime. I'm not gonna react to like a compilation of anime stuff because that's gonna get the video demonetized and stuff. So sorry about that. Guys, did you already show him the muffler guy Joy versus Weevil video? Yes, and the reaction is already in my channel. It's one of the first videos that I ever uploaded. Actually, if you go to most popular videos in my channel, that's probably in the top 3 or something. What about the whole Dark Side of the Dimension movie? Now I want to watch that, but I will have to highly edit it. The thing is, like, when I usually react to stuff, I basically don't edit. I show the whole thing, right? But for anime and stuff, I will have to edit it a little bit, because yesterday I recorded a reaction to a GX episode, one of my favorite GX episodes, and I'm gonna upload it this week for members to see just how it goes, right? To see if people enjoy the editing, because the editing is basically gonna show as minimum of the actual anime and center more about my reaction. But the thing is, like, those take time to edit, so that's why they are memberships, right? And ideally, I'm gonna be reacting to all of Sexal, all of 5Ds, all of Arc 5 in the future. Yes. Chat. No, yeah, I read that you're joking, but I take it seriously. But I was gonna chase the bag. I'm not getting any money. When I say that I want to I don't want it to be demonetized, means that it's gonna be shared with less people, right? That is gonna get restricted, and it's gonna be some people are gonna be able to watch it, are not gonna be able to watch it. Yeah. Anyways, wait, is there any questions before we go to the video? Yeah, I'm gonna watch Arc 5, but it's gonna take a while, right? I need to finish Sexal first, definitely. Okay, I guess no questions. I'm probably just gonna play through Draco or Flower Guardian in an NR tournament. You can play through Draco? Flower Guardian? Interesting. You feel free. Here's the thing. Feel free to play wherever you want. Hi, hello, Pyronoa. Welcome, welcome. Alright, hold on. Let me get the music again while we talk about this. This is so funny. The Wensi Cup next Saturday. Season 0 is for members only, by the way. So that way, I can guarantee that there's not gonna be trolls. There are people that don't follow the rules, right? This way I can keep track of everyone. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. The videos I sent are always good, you can trust me. I believe you. I believe you. Oh, today we're not watching a long video, for example, right? So we can go for more videos, more videos instead of the other day that we watched, like, I think 3 videos in like 4 hours. Yeah. To the record, like tier 3, and when it's combined with Metal Falls, like one of the best NR decks. Ah, see? That's creativity right there. I want to see that. I want to see that. Why is it the shorter one? I will check it next stream then. Today I already decided, or maybe this is one of your suggestions, I don't know. The Yu-Gi-Oh manga that follows the rules? Wait. Did you just recommend it right now? I don't see it. Is Ray allowed? She has double rarity. I mean, you can only allow to play the rare one. Oh, it was weeks ago. I'm so sorry. If you can post it again, will be nice. I cannot keep track anymore. I'm so sorry. I'm suffering from success. I have so many recommendations. I have so many cool people showing me cool videos. I'm so sorry. I need to keep better track of that. I need a manager that tells me what to watch, honestly. I want a manager to watch my stuff and see the numbers and okay, today you are reacting to this. You are not reacting to these ones. It will be amazing. Why is it hard to get new pendulum support? Hold on. Okay. so many videos and so little time. Yeah, I wish I could stream every day. I really do. Oh, it's not short at all? Yeah. Then that's probably the reason why. I'm so sorry. Okay. Let's watch. Oyama, fail cards and mechanics. Now I'm so excited about this. I love Oyama. I'm fan of Chaz. This is my favorite character. So let me. What? Why the Discord alert? Okay, should I check something on Discord? Okay, I saw the thing is there. Cool. Am I missing something? Hello? Time to play Spyro TK Junk Pile. What do you mean would you ask? Yeah. Can you still... I think I hide it from the channel. That's so weird. Okay, well, we're gonna watch the video now. Hold on. Oyama, fail cards and mechanics. As you may know, I'm a big fan of Chaz Princeton, so so I always want to play these cards, but you know, I also like winning, right? I also like winning in the game, so that's why I don't play it. But they are so cool in the anime, so let's see what happened exactly and how maybe it can work.
If you're a player who lives for the goofy archetypes,
I
there's
live
no
for
way
that.
you can skim through them without recognizing the Ojamas. This Speedo-wearing trio have had their faces in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG from being Chaz's underrated powerhouse in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
You know what? Oh, like already, just talking about the cards. Let's just ignore Chad and the personalities, Chaz and the personalities. The art for the Oyama cards is always so funny. I love it.
To being designed in a goofy artwork all throughout Yu-Gi-Oh!
Look at this, dude. Oyama match, dude. This is the funniest thing ever.
They're so funny that even their success in the meta is something to laugh at. So let's see why the Ojamas flopped in the TCG. If you want to know the first reason they didn't succeed in the TCG, look no further than what their main deck monsters.
This is so iconic. The Oyama Yellow is such an iconic card. Like, look at it, all like full of saliva there. This one has like snot. Yeah, dude, this is so amazing. Like, I don't know.
Were. Debuting in Invasion of Chaos, Ojama Black, Ojama Yellow, and Ojama Green are the stale bread and melted butter of the deck. They all have the same stat line, level, attribute, and type. Level 2 light beast normal monsters with 0 attack and 1000 defense.
Oh my god, this is... yeah.
When they're together, something magical happens. One of those things being the spell card Ojama Delta Hurricane. If you have Ojama Black, Yellow, and Green face up on your side of the field, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. The last card
really
is Ojama Trio. This normal trap card spawned 3 Ojama tokens with the same stat lines as the Ojama monsters to your opponent's side of the field. They couldn't be used for tribute summons, and when they were destroyed, the opponent takes 300 damage.
It's just, I don't know, it's just 300 damage. I don't know, only if they are destroyed, right? Yeah, only if they are destroyed. Kinda interesting.
While looking at these cards, you can just assume that these are all unplayable, and you would most likely be correct. Surprisingly, one of these cards did see play.
I can imagine that this is not an Ojama card. This is a card that you can play in a different type of decks, right? It's not a staple, right? But it's generic. Okay, that's the word that I was looking for.
And it even appeared on the Forbidden Unlimited list. Ojama Trio was actually seen as a threatening card due to degenerate burn decks and OTKs. Not only was Chain Strike Burn running around, but it was also seen use in all-out attacks OTKs, giving your opponent the trio tokens and forcing them to attack your monsters, most of the time being Stone Statue of the Aztecs. Aztecs doubled any damage your opponent took when battling it. Since the tokens had 0 attack, anytime they swung into it, your opponent would take a guaranteed 4,000 damage per token.
What is this? Dude, what the hell is this?
Which meant your opponent would take 12,000 damage altogether.
That is so funny.
OTK seems obvious, but what if I told you this card was also a solid meta call? Due to certain situations, Ojama Trio could hinder boards in certain scenarios. Having decks that tribute and need multiple pieces like Cleefort, you can give them the trio tokens to take up their space for their pendulum summoning and limit how much they can summon. Cyber Dragon being special summoned, Ojama Trio in your opponent's turn to stop that inherent summon.
Okay, but who will play this just to stop us, Cyber Dragon? Like, let's be honest.
It was even considered a tech choice matchup against Burning Abyss. Since BA monsters get destroyed if there's another monster other than a BA monster on the controller side of the field, they are destroyed instantly. So you can just place those on the field and completely shut down your opponent's game plan. This card was so underrated that it was already on the ban list in 2008, being limited to one copy due to its OTK potential.
Excuse me? This was Ojama Trio was limited? Wow. Wow. 2008 was wild. Realistically, no one did this, just used it in Panda Burn. I assume that there was some kind of like niche uses for this card, for some stupid bullshit. Back in the day when links and generic fusions didn't exist. Yeah. Cyber Dragon was limited when it got released. I guess you're right. I guess Cyber Dragon was a really good card when it came out. Like, was one of the best cards. So it makes sense, I guess, that you will put Ojama Trio just to counter that. The fact that Harpy Lady has a card depicting the aforementioned harpies hunting Ojamas for sport feels like a cosmic justice for some of this degeneracy. That's so funny. I love that.
And brought to 2 in 2010, and finally given its release papers 7
years later,
where it doesn't see any play. So the Ojama Trio were a menace, but only trap card wise. The vanillas weren't so lucky due to being, well, vanillas. Unless you were rocking over 1900 attack and a level 4, those bland yellow cards didn't see play. As great as having a board wipe like Ojama Delta Hurricane was, the setup would be slow due to having to normal summon the trio and then due to them not having protection.
But I'm sure there is cards to summon them easily.
Also, there were no searches for them yet.
Oh, yet.
More on that later. But they did get a new monster, a boss monster at that a little bit later. In Soul of the Duelists, the world would see the King of Speedos, Ojama King. This level 6 light...
The king himself. Dude, I love the Ojama King in the anime especially. His voice is so funny. I don't remember what he says, but he's such, like in the dub at least, he has such a funny voice. But Burn is great gold format since you can kill very early and their main monster gains attack for each monster your opponent controls and has piercing. And okay, I get it.
Beast Fusion with 0 attack and 3000 defense took the whole Ojama Trio as a fusion material. Its effect lets you select up to 3 monster zones, and as long as King remains face up on the field, those zones can't be used. While it's always nice to receive a boss monster for your archetype, that doesn't mean it was beneficial. In this case, Ojama King was more of a mediocre and lackluster card. Sure, making 3 zones unplayable can become a hindrance for your opponent, but it doesn't really stop people from playing the game. Just limits the resources they can place on the field. It also required specific materials for you to make the Ojama.
I think that's the worst part.
Obtaining specific fusion materials was always an issue for old school fusions, and with King this was no exception. With no consistent way to get the Ojama gang, it was nigh impossible to make King consistently. The major issue was also that the Ojamas had 0 attack on all their cards, including their boss monster. What good are these effects if you can't do major damage to your opponent? So, while occupying your opponent's zones seemed to be their specialty, their lack of playability in every other department kind of hampered them. That did it.
Even with your original Future Fusion, it was unusable garbage. Wow, that's very mean, but you're right.
change when the elemental energy gave them new support too.
Oh yeah.
Ojama Muscle was a normal spell card that lets you
Ojama
select
Muscle.
one Ojama King and destroy all other Ojama monsters on the field. The selected Ojama King gains 1000 attack for each Ojama monster destroyed by this effect. Also, they gained a Searcher and Oja Magic, a normal spell that when it's sent from the field or hand to the grave, you can add one Ojama Yellow, Black, and Green from your deck to your hand.
This is such a cool card. I really like this card. It's so funny. It's such a funny searcher. This card is, yeah, you can send it yourself. It doesn't have to be by opponent's effect, but still, it's so funny when it happens.
Both cards had exactly what Ojamas needed, but both came with weird drawbacks. Oja Muscle was the solution for finally having an attack increase, but it needed resources, aka Ojama monsters, for you to get said increase.
Yeah, that sounds
This
like
was
really hard to
already
use.
a tough hill to climb because you'd most likely already use the resources to make Ojama King, since it took 3 Ojamas to make. It's highly unlikely there'd be monsters left over to get an increase unless your opponent controls Ojama monsters. In that case, you would have been running Ojamas or be stuck with your Ojama tokens. Oja Magic also completed the woes of Ojama support. It was the Searcher that got you all 3 of the Ojama trio, but the card depended on being sent to the graveyard in some other way. This meant
But
you had to
you
waste
can make it work.
resources to pop it yourself,
That is not a waste of resources. You can make it work with the right deck.
or even worse, wait for your opponent to get
Yeah,
rid
that's
of it.
not happening.
So it was a search you couldn't even do by yourself. The support was hit with unnecessary requirements that made them near unplayable, which, ironically, accurately depicts what Ojamas were. So unless this was
It's in character
GX,
at least, right?
You didn't hear anything about Ojamas. It wasn't until Tactical Evolution that Ojamas got another playable card.
Wait, what is the
Adding
other
more
one?
to the fusion aspect of Ojama was Ojama Knight. This level 5
Oh.
beast fusion with
It's just
0
two
attack
Ojama
and
monsters.
2500 defense takes only 2 Ojama monsters as its fusion materials. Knight lets you select up to 2 monster zones and essentially do the same thing as King, making those zones unavailable for your opponent to use. Knight was a really solid fusion target. It just needed 2 Ojamas and wasn't specific about which of the Ojama trio to use.
It's a -4 for nothing monster. There was no right deck. That is so funny. This Castira at home? No. Don't even mention Castira in this.
It was also a level 5 fusion, making it an instant fusion target if you're in a pinch. It even paired better with Ojama Trio, as Knight only took up 2 spaces, unlike King who took up 3. This guarantees that if you pair it with Ojama Trio, you would get all 3 tokens. However, it still suffered from being 0 attack and having no protection. Outside of that, Knight probably ranks as one of the best supports for our Speedo weirdos. Now it was just the issue of how to fix up the search and attack power of the archetype.
No, legit, this was they based Castira one. There is no way Castira was based on this. That makes absolutely no sense. They only have one card that is kind of similar. That is the one that blocks your stuff. But Castira is focused around banishing stuff. So I don't think so. I really doubt it. I used to do that. Instant fusion for Knight, synchro summon, then revive it with country. That's evil.
Once again, they gave unique support to help with both of these problems in the TCG set Raging Battle. In Raging Battle, 3 new pieces of support were given. Let's start off with Ojama Blue, a level 2 light beast effect monster with the same stat lines as
He has
all
an
other
effect.
Ojamas. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can add 2 Ojama cards from your deck.
Oh,
to
that's
your hand.
huge.
Ojama Red was next. When you normal summon it, you can special summon up to 4 Ojama monsters from your hand.
Shut up. What the hell?
Finally, players were introduced to Ojama Country, a field spell. Once per turn, you can send an Ojama card from your hand to the grave to special summon an Ojama monster from your graveyard. While you
That's Ojama Lime in there. When are we gonna see him?
control an Ojama monster, the attack and defense of all monsters on the field are switched. Analysis. These cards actually boosted the archetype very significantly. Ojama Blue was a good searcher at this time of the game when the battle phase was heavily utilized. With cards like Giant Rat, Mystic Tomato, and Sandgam being around during the time, the game was slower. Nobody blinked an eye at Ojama Blue being heavily utilized. That's also on top of the fact that it can grab any Ojama monster from your deck and add it to your hand. It was even errata to be able to add Oja Muscle later on in the TCG,
Oh.
giving you access to every card associated with Ojama. Red helped with making sure your Ojama monsters didn't get stuck in your hand, finally ending your suffering of playing one vanilla Ojama at a time. Ojama Country was a solution to the attack power woes. Playing an Ojama immediately swapped everyone's attack and defense. This included your fusions, who, when Ojama Country is active on the field, become scary juggernauts with high attack power.
That's actually huge. Dude, this card is so good. For the archetype, and at the time, I assume, right? Obviously, I don't think this will be playable today, but that is so cool, right? Now it dies to imperm. Well, everything. Well, not everything, but most things do. Yeah. I think it's funny you can run these dudes in Yami, cause like I've never seen people play Ojama Yami. Ojami. I kinda want to play that now. Yeah, like level 1 beasts. I mean, someone could have made it, right? But I don't know how good will it be.
The effect to special summon from the graveyard just sweetened the pot, as it could special summon an Ojama monster
It's
from
a
the
meme, but
grave,
it is possible.
including your fusions if they're destroyed. The effect was also a soft once per turn, meaning you can use the effect if you played another Ojama Country on top of the first one. It also combos well with Oja Magic. Since it just requires you to discard an Ojama card, Oja Magic would be used as a cost. You could pitch Oja Magic, add yellow, green, and black to set up a summon with Ojama Red, and play the Ojamas in your hand to hopefully
I can
Delta
see
Earth
the
and
line
your
now.
opponent
I
to
can see the
smithereens.
line.
Were they good now?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
They still had tons of flaws. Blue needed to be destroyed by battle, and it needed to be sent to the graveyard. So if floodgates like Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos are active, your best searcher is just shut down. This can also apply to Ojama Country, as the card has to be sent to the graveyard to use its special summon effect. Lastly, Red's effect was only triggered by normal summoning it. But the major gripe is that by the time they got the support, the deck had already been power crept out and was too easy to interrupt. With powerhouses like Lightsworns, Teledad, and Blackwings running around, none of these decks were scared by an Ojama board that took a couple of turns to set up. Also, their token Monster Zone blocking scheme was easily busted due to the introduction of synchros. While they were good for stopping tributes, they weren't so great for stopping synchros, as they could be used as synchro material. And since they only inflicted damage by being destroyed, the controller could take no damage.
Well, not that
using
the
them
damage
with the
will
synchro.
make any
You
difference.
were more likely to be thanked by your opponent than cursed by them by giving them free resources. So, by the time Circuit Break came out, you'd think
Jesus.
Konami would create more Ojama token cards. And you would think wrong. Ojama Duo was their next token creating normal trap instead. Instead of 3 tokens, however, this one would give your opponent 2. They, like Ojama Trio tokens, couldn't be tributed and inflicted 300 damage to your opponent when they were destroyed. Duo also has a graveyard effect. During either player's turn, except the turn it's sent to the grave, you can banish this card to special summon 2 Ojama monsters with different names from your deck. Duo was basically the same as Trio, meaning that it also has the same problems as well. The only saving grace was that it let you get 2 Ojama monsters.
I feel like
from your
that's
deck.
way better.
Other than that, it was just giving away free tokens for synchro summoning. Not to mention that Link Summoning was introduced to the game around this time, alongside the extra Monster Zone, now giving a whopping 6 zones for your opponent to use. Since Trio and Duo tokens
I
can't
didn't,
take up
I
the
didn't think
Monster
about
Zone,
that.
your opponent could just link their way out of the Monster Zone lock if they needed to. So their plan was outdated and power crept, so they weren't seen as a threat.
Oh my god,
They would
this
need
is so
a new
bad.
identity if they wanted to see some sort of play. And that's exactly what Konami did when they debuted the new support for them in Legendary Duelist Ancient Millennium set.
Oh my god.
Ojama Simulation was a normal spell card where you can reveal 1 Light Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck, and then banish any number of Ojama monsters from your hand, face-up field, and or graveyard to special summon fusion materials with different names whose names are specifically listed on the card you revealed from your hand, deck, and or graveyard, equal to the number of monsters banished to activate the effect.
I don't understand.
You can also banish this card from your graveyard, then target 3 of your banished Ojama monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card.
Alright, hold on. I didn't get any of that. You can reveal 1 Light Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck and banish any number of Ojama monster from your hand. face-up field and or graveyard. So you reveal monster, and then you banish Oyama. To special summon a fusion materials with different names, whose name is specifically listed on the card you reveal from your hand deck, equal to the number of monsters banished to activate this effect. You can also manipulate this card. Wait, what? You are supposed to XYZ contact fusion monsters now? I don't get it. So you reveal a monster, then you banish the Oyamas, and special summon the materials. Also, technically, it's Cyber Dragon support as well. I hate this. No, I don't. Special summon fusion materials with different names, whose names are specifically listed on the card. It's not Cyber Dragon, because Cyber Dragon doesn't have specific materials that are not just Cyber Dragon, because they have to be different. So I don't think this applies to Cyber Dragon. I don't think there's a single Cyber Dragon card that you can summon with this. The bad original Union monsters. Yeah, I feel like that is the main, what they were made for, right? Because that's the chess cards. Interesting.
Pull them into the deck and then draw one card. Oja Match is a quick play spell that sends one Ojama card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard.
For Armed
to add to your
Dragon,
hand
this
one
card's a
Ojama
fun
monster
service.
with a different name, and one Armed Dragon monster from your deck and or graveyard.
You could summon one
Then,
Cyber
immediately when the
Dragon.
effect resolves,
I guess you could.
You normal summon one of those monsters. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave to target 3 of your banished Ojama monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw one card. The final card in Legendary Duelist was Ojama Pajama. If armed dragon monsters
the hell
and
is
or
this?
light machine fusion monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish one Ojama card from your hand, face-up field, or graveyard instead. It also has additional effects you can activate once per turn. You can add one Ojama card from your deck to your hand, then discard one card during your main phase, or special summon as many of your banished Ojama monsters as possible when this card is sent to the graveyard.
Okay, but why is this called Oyama Pajama? Why is it called like that? Like, what? Am I missing something?
Analysis. Weird turn, right? It's a wild 180 to go from zone occupying focus to now armed dragon and light fusion monsters. If you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, you know the reason why.
Yeah.
The armed dragon monsters and alphabet fusions were all part of Chaz Princeton's deck, the same duelist who also used the Ojamas in his deck. How he didn't brick is anyone's guess.
Exactly.
So, for casual fun and anime references, these cards are made to tie them together. It's also meant to help you make the fusion Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon, a level 10 light machine fusion with an insane requirement, needing Armed
They are
Dragon
wearing
level 7
pajamas, bruh.
plus VWXYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon. It's not like the new Ojama support were bad cards either. They had really good effects. Ojama Simulation literally could get you fusion material for ease for your alphabet fusion.
Alphabet
and
fusion.
Oja Match grabbed your Armed Dragon cards. They were also non-once per turn cards if you had multiple, and easily recycled your Ojama monsters. You know what else was easy? Not playing this at all.
Yeah.
This playstyle is the definition of too many cooks in the kitchen. Not only did you have the Ojama Vanillas as bricks, but you also had the Armed Dragon and Alphabet Machines as bricks as well. Armed Dragon and Alphabets also already operated better on their own.
This is the break final boss. Like, that's amazing. When I bet, like, if you actually play this, like the Chaz deck, most of the time you're just gonna break. But when it works, it should be the hypest thing ever. Like, it probably only works like what, like 10% of times. But when it does, it must be so cool. It must be so cool. Only Chaz could master this deck. True. Only the Chaz.
Armed Dragon had a retrain line and could just operate with generic dragon support. Alphabets were a little different, using the ABC alphabet machines instead of the XYZ ones because the effects were more powerful and didn't need to worry about consistent breaking with the vanilla machines. There was no point in mixing Ojamas and having a greater chance at bricking your opening hand. In Duel Overlord, a plethora of archetypes were included to get their own links.
Oh no.
In a random turn of events, one of them was for the Ojamas. Ojama Emperor was a Link 3 light beast with 0 attack and took 2+ beast monsters, including an Ojama monster. While Ojama Country is in the field zone, this card gains 3000 attack.
Jesus.
And it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from attacks on this card instead. Once per turn, you can target one non-Link Ojama monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but for the rest of the turn, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck except for fusion monsters.
Okay.
Emperor wasn't really anything to write home about. It was nothing more than another body that could reach 3k, revive an Ojama, and had protection from being destroyed by card effects. The fusion locking in a Link format meta didn't help its case either, as it didn't help the outdated style of Ojama. Outside
what
of
does this
Ojama's
do
link,
exactly?
this didn't
Look
improve
at-
the playstyle of Ojamas. Our last piece of Ojama support comes in as Ojama Pink.
Okay.
This stunning work of art has an effect that lets you activate an effect to let both players draw one card, then discard a card when it's sent from your field.
Oh,
or
that's
hand to the graveyard.
for Oya
If you
Magic.
discard an Ojama card with this effect, you get to select an opponent's unused monster zone, and until the end of your opponent's turn, they cannot use the selected zone. Right back to square one with the Ojamas.
I like it.
While being able to draw is nice, the outdated attempt to block off your opponent's zones just didn't hold up, especially if it's only temporary. It does have the fun fact of being the only main deck Ojama monster with a hard once per turn. Other than these two facts, this card doesn't really do much to help Ojama. And this wraps up our thorough research on Ojama.
Oh, those are the
What
only
can we take away from all of
cards.
this? Let's be serious, it doesn't take a scientist or even a Yu-Gi-Oh player to realize this archetype was never supposed to be good.
But
From
it's so
designs to effects, we
funny.
knew this deck wasn't topping any YCSs. This is an archetype you take to your locals just to be the weird dude yelling, "Let's chaz it up."
I feel so called out, dude. I am gonna do that, dude. I'm going to locals with Ojama deck. I'm definitely doing that. I'm gonna go. Let's chaz it up. Chat. I wanna see in the chat. Chaz it up. I'm so cringe, dude.
However, if you wanted to see this as competitive for whatever reason, then hopefully this video has successfully laid your claim to rest. None of these mechanics scream viable in this day and age. Making monster zones unavailable is just too slow and wonky of a mechanic. Not to mention that your opponent can still play spells and traps, which, to be honest, are the more dangerous resources of the deck in
Are
most
they?
cases.
Are they?
Your boss monsters don't have any protection to be removed, whether it's by destruction, banishment, or even being bounced back to the hand or extra deck. The one card that had success, Ojama Trio, was lucky to even be part of a fragile OTK, and a unique meta call to one of the best decks in the mid-2010s against Burning Abyss. Even then, that doesn't work in today's game, where giving your opponents tokens is seen more as a resource than a hindrance.
Yeah.
With synchros and links being a commodity in most extra decks, there's no way to keep a consistent monster zone lock.
But maybe you can. I'm copying, dude. I'm copying so much, thinking, oh, but maybe you can play it against decks that don't use links and synchros. Maybe you can play this against. You can side deck this for. I don't know. I actually don't know. Wait, what could it be? K9? Question mark? K9 Vanquish Soul, because the links are not generic and everything else is Xyz, I guess. Because monarchs are tier 0. What? Coping like a red eyes. I'm already coping, dude. I should listen to this. I've been ironically seen Oyama Melfi. Oh, I heard that. I heard of that. No, definitely Red Eyes is way better than this. But dude, let me cope. You know what? I'm building the deck after the stream. Yeah, I'm building the deck. I don't care. I'm gonna make it work, and you're gonna feel so dumb when you lose to this.
The whole archetype would need a retrain, if anything, to be a good deck. However, Ojamas don't look like they're intended for good play, but more for good moments. So at best,
Good
all we can do is
moments.
just enjoy them for what they are, and pray Konami just releases Ojama Dala as a real card already.
Did you say Ojamandala or not Ojamandala? Is that how you pronounce it? I actually don't know how to pronounce it. I always assume it was the other way. Pay 1,000 LP, then target one of each Oyama in your graveyard, special summon them. Yeah, sounds correct.
Successfully and intentionally makes it into the Hall of Fail.
The Hall of Fail. That, yeah. Amazing video. Thank you so much for recommending this. I'm playing it. I'm playing it. I'm coping. I'm coping so hard, but I have to make it work. There is no way. You cannot do this to me. You cannot do this to me. No, he pronounces them wrong on purpose. He has said it many times. Oh, okay. Cool. Hello, Crispy Applesauce. Fun fact, Ojama Mandala is also an exclusive card in Duel Links. Wait, what? It's in Duel Links? Is this how you convince me to play Duel Links? Is it actually, because I know like someone was talking about Aoyamas in Duel Links. Is it actually like playable in Duel Links? Because now that will be a reason to play Duel Links. Unironically. Am I gonna do it? Who knows? In Duel Links, Oyamas are stronger. Remember, Duel Links only uses 3 monster zones? Right. Using Oyamas to make this man play Duel Links is diabolical. Interesting. Duel Links has anime exclusive cards before they are printed. And that is not a real game. Maybe that's what I needed. I was thinking about playing like something actually good in Duel Links. But maybe that is not my goal. Maybe my fate is to play Oyama in Duel Links. I feel like that makes sense. I haven't fought an Oyama player in Duel Links through my many years of playing it. Maybe the first one should be me. Okay, anyways, thank you so much. We will see how that goes. We'll see. I'm definitely building this in Master Duel. And we will see if we make it in Duel Links. Alright. What a good video. Maybe I just want to lose. Oh, this song is also so good! There are cards that only exist in anime and Duel Links. Yeah, I know that there are cards that are only anime exclusive. I didn't know there were Duel Links exclusives. It makes sense though. Okay, I need to read that comment from the past. 3 minutes behind, 30 minutes behind regarding Arc 5. Once you finish Season 1, just make up your own ending. I promise that whatever you make up, even if you were on meth and took a hammer to the face, will be better. I'll keep it in mind, Christopher. Thank you. There is cards that only exist. Okay, I already read that. I just saw a cursed image of Neo's Oyama monster. No. I would love to see that. I would love to see that in the game. Chat, give me 1 minute. I need to pee really quick and I'll be back. I'll be back really quick. I'm back. It's for anime fans what they're gonna do. I hope you do get to see Duel Links so many animations better than Master Duel. I guess, but that is not gonna make me play the game. I look up Rush Duel Oyama and it was a second image. Rush Duel Oyama. Oh my god. Alright. Alright. Wait, the volume.
One thing I love about the details of Yu-Gi-Oh cards is how deep the backstories can get of certain monster cards that aren't just famous mainstay archetypes. I'm not just talking about the lore printed on normal monster cards, but rather full stories of random monsters told across other monster spell and trap
Wait,
cards.
oh no, Yama. Okay, hold on. What could be a that could be a video, to be honest. Some of the monster intros like Jinso and Juvel are cool AF. We can watch them next time. The Jack Atlas soundtrack from Duel Links, it's another level. I heard it. But right now we're gonna watch a video and then we can have another stream to react to music, definitely. We're gonna have that. Top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster card backstories. Let's watch.
One thing I love about the details of Yu-Gi-Oh cards is how deep the backstories can get.
What is this
certain
game? Hold on, what is this game? What's going on in the background? What is a Game Boy game?
Monster cards that aren't just famous mainstay archetypes. I'm not just talking about the lore
Alligator
printed on normal
sword.
monster cards, but rather
Dude, the art used to be so weird. Like, what is this? Like, it used to be so weird in an ugly and uncomfortable way.
full stories of random monsters told across other
Oyama Yellow, my goat.
monster spell and trap cards using names and imagery. In this case, the actual effects of the spells and traps don't always directly complement the monster in the imagery.
Yeah, sometimes the art like shows some random thing that has nothing to do with the effect, which is kind of weird.
Unlike a spell that is meant for a certain monster, like Released Restraint for the Gearfried line. In this video, I'm going over my favorite instances of monster cards that received this treatment, and I'll be doing my best to interpret these stories.
Oh, nice.
Even if I have to rely on my own personal speculation for some
I'll
more
take it.
ambiguous parts and ordering. So consider that a disclaimer. Also, AT from Software Agents Corp is joining me for bits of this video because the more the merrier, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very merry.
You call me the godfather of games.
Now with that
Oh my
pesky
God.
intro out of the way, it's time to piece together the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster
Oh, this is a
card
top 10.
backstories.
Okay, interesting. I didn't
Number
realize.
10.
I know I read
Don't
the I know I read it, but I didn't fully like process that it was gonna be only 10, right? Because this is 20 minutes long, so I expected more than 10. Sorry, I'm brain rot right now.
Abyss, do you want to hear a story about a
I don't know what I was expecting from Mr. Top 10 list. My bad.
guy who just can't win? He's like a combination of Baraka and Millhouse with his luck.
What?
He was one of dozens of normal monsters released in the first American TCG set that you'd think nothing of with his poor stats. But someone at Konami either had some bottled up hatred for this demon in need of a manicure, or they were intrigued by his card lore, which states he once had the power to rule over the dark. We learned he was demoted by Dark Ruler Hades, from King of Hell to random demon guy.
Oh
or just
no,
king of
poor
some
guy, he
unspecified
fell off.
abyss.
They should make a version called Dethroned King of the Abyss.
The former king devises a plan to get his old job back, executed on the card Hatebuster. Where the king uses, is that a bomb? That's some otherworldly
What could that be? What could that be?
dark magic right there. I think this bomb had a substance in it that drained Hades of his power, allowing the king to use his mind drain skill and a few other spells on Hades to kill him and take his power.
Oh wait, this is the guy. I just noticed. This is the guy. From that ruler no more. Yeah. What am I? It's always the same guy. You know, I never thought about it. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. I don't know why I never like connected the pieces.
It backfired quite a bit though, as someone seems to have used the anime version of Call of the Haunted on Hades and brought him back as a zombie. Now revived Hades throws the king into some hell magma, but apparently the king's okay in powerful rebirth with seemingly more power than before. Finally, the Dark King can win after his past failures.
Can he?
No destruct potion shows Hades knows what he's doing and successfully pulls the reversal, leaving the
Okay, but how do you know that's the order of things?
Dark King to die at the hands of the Archfiend Emperor. Hope you like Pandemonium, Dark King. Number 9, the
Number
Huge
9.
Revolution Gang of Monster
Okay, I really like this. I've seen a few of these, and I think these are really cool.
cards. Initially, I thought this was just a self-contained series since it combines the forces of 3 monsters.
They are hating on this person because because they have green hair. They don't like it. They don't like that.
Cards showing the stages of a revolt, oppressed people, people running about, and united resistance. However, that's just one part of a major story involving these cards.
You know what? I used to have these cards when I was a child, and I had like my fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards because I was poor and Peruvian. I used to have this, and I used to think they were like made up, that they were fake. That someone just put like a random image from something else in a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. They don't look like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, what is going on here? If they were, it seems like they would be like spell or trap cards, right? Why are they monsters? I don't know.
They tie in with the King from the Tyrant series of trap cards.
Wait, they are from the same thing? They are from the same thing? Whoa. There are a few cards with a lot of out of place feel. Yeah. They feel weird. They feel like they are not part exactly of Yu-Gi-Oh. These specific cards fill me with so much nostalgia, right? But not this one, right? But the other ones. They look so old, but at the same time they don't look like Yu-Gi-Oh. But I know they are, but it feels weird. Oppressed People is actually not that bad for the old days since 2000 Defense. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Tyrant King is just old school lore of being oppressed and unsurprising. Dude, I love this.
Who is seemingly different than the Imperial Order King, but that's a tangent. These people were under the proverbial foot of this emperor who went on a rampage of power.
Dude, I want to see him. Well, actually, I feel like the censorship improved the design because he used to be. He didn't wear the shirt, right? That was added as censorship because he was like with his nipples out. Yeah.
Power and a vacation, which was apparently too hot for TV with his toplessness according to the international releases of his cards. They gave him an undershirt to cover up his partial nudity. As the tyrant gets more unreasonable with his physical actions, the kingdom gradually takes away rights from its population, which cards depict as oppression by the royal knights. We then get the 3 monster cards.
But are they actually related?
Slowly forming until the huge revolution begins. And then it fails. Thanks for playing. However, the reversal is reversed, since the rest of the population and his own guards are fed up with this emperor's unruly.
You know what it is? Because the art for the previous cards looks so... I don't know, so... I don't want to say realistic, right? But now this looks like too anime. Look at these guys in the background. It's just too anime or cartoonish, rather. I don't know if it's anime or cartoonish. The thing is, like, it's definitely more stylized style. I don't know. We know this is real lore stuff because of an old Master Guide stuff. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's more like cutesy instead of serious like the previous ones.
Behavior. So the whole kingdom rises up against him, and then his superior demotes him to peasant.
What do you mean superior? Isn't he the king?
I probably would have tried to lay low if I were him. Maybe take off the now meaningless crown, shave the beard, you know, clean yourself up a bit. Number 8, Coach Goblin.
Coach Goblin. I cannot imagine where this is gonna go. I have no idea. Oh my god. Reminded the Rush Duel brought back the Huge Revolution monsters, but it's ants. Yeah, I'm not even gonna ask. He's a lower king instead of the high king from Imperial Order. So there is different ranks of kings. I thought the king was meant to be the highest authority of their kingdom. So I guess some kingdoms are stronger than others, but there is like from a different place. So it's not that one is superior to the other, like their boss. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing history lessons. Who knows?
This is a little fun one. Coach Goblin had his best client, Giant Orc, in the ring against Des Kangaroo. Orc lost, so Coach Goblin had to take the role of second Goblin and enter the ring. As you'd expect, he gets pummeled. The next part is a bit of speculation on my end.
Okay.
When taking his client on a tour of the underworld for some training to prepare for a rematch against the Kangaroo, the Orc misses the bus when getting ice cream, which is strangely cute, leaving Coach Goblin to take the tour alone. During the tour, Different Dimension Crazy Beast pulls Coach out of his own dimension, which you think would be the end for him.
What is this called? Diddy Crazy Beast? What is this? That is such a funny name.
Goblin, but he shows why he's the coach and tames this beast, finding a way back to his dimension.
Wow.
Maybe now he has enough hardened battle experience to challenge that kangaroo to a rematch of his own. And we'll get to what's going on in this card in a later entry because it's pretty interesting.
Oh.
Number 7.
Wait, that was such a short one. That was such a short. That almost feels like the magnum opus of this idea. 3 different series of cards culminating in a whole little biblical saga. I'm sure we're gonna see that later. Well, this video is like kinda old. It's from 8 years ago. So I don't know if that will include them, right? Oh, there is a volume 2. Okay, we're gonna watch the volume 2 later then. There is more then. Nice. I'm sure there is probably more than 2 also, because that is a lot. That is a huge concept. A weird dimension beast. This was a new Rush Duel variant of that guy. Dark Lords are old. Okay, we'll see. I remember this guy. This was in GX, right? This guy was in GX, I think. Or am I confusing him with your generic knight?
Reed, the matchless general, he was initially just a brave wanderer. During his time scouring the world,
he was.
he
This
got
guy.
in a fight with Lizard Man Yugioh, who got caught between dimensions in their battle. I don't even think Freed knew what was going on based on his facial expression here. This enraged the reptile to pursue Freed even more, and in time gave Freed enough battle experience to become a matchless general. You think you can match him? Keep dreaming. He indicated this by growing a manly mustache. He is brought on to lead an army in the midst of a war. He has a faint plan and leads on the offensive. All seems to be going smoothly until
he's in so many cards,
returns.
and he's always fighting the same guy. He's always fighting the same guy. That's so funny.
Even stronger, and that's the succinct cliffhanger version of his story. It seems short, but there are more plot lines involved with some other monsters that you'll see on this list, so this is not the last we've seen of Freed. Also, there's an evil version of Freed. I don't know what's up with him. He just kind of exists with no other story. It's fine though, just leave him alone.
Just there out of context.
Number 6, Goblin of Greed. His story started on Upstart Goblin, which is what I thought his name was for the longest time. As someone who loved using the bad reaction to Simochi anti-cure deck, I'm familiar with this guy. Anyway, he lives up to the greed in his name. He seems to think he can get away with swindling or straight up theft using his charming smile. I've never seen the pot of greed so distraught.
I've seen a lot of like this guy in a lot of cards, but I don't know if there is a storyline. I always assume like he was just meant to be like the poster guy for greed, right, in cards.
However, the greed karma caught up with him as he lost all of his funds. He might have been robbed by the
Oh
dark
wait, he's in this card. I never realized. I was always looking at the guys, at the scorpions, and I didn't realize that he was also in this card. Oh my god.
Scorpion gang, since he was the one being attacked on their Dark Scorpion combination attack trap card. The goblin sticks to his old ways though, trying to sell his stolen pot of greed, only to get caught red-handed when the buyer discovers the handle is broken. At least the pot looks happy again. He attempts to regain his wealth with get-rich-quick schemes that never work. He devises his next plan, which
Dude, I hate this card. I know that this card like causes physical pain on me.
seems to be begging in an ironic twist compared to where he once was. Using these coins he received, he attempts to undo his actions for a little.
Fine, discard 2 cards. I can't.
Little turnaround in fortune by using these scraps as payment for the broken pot and jar. The store owner rejects it though by throwing it right back in his face along with the damaged goods.
Oh my god.
At least the story ends with the goblin getting an honest job as the guy who puts the Halo things on Moki Moki. See, he learned his oh no, don't restart the cycle. Classic.
I love that. I
goblin.
love that. I love that. That is so cool.
Number 5.
Alright, let's ignore that. I think the Wild Forest archetype and the story are extremely overrated, and nothing about it is that good, but that's just me. I don't know much about the Wild Forest storyline, but the cards look really cool. That's all I can say. After Goblin is in Master Duel story. Oh, it's right now it's in Master Duel, the story mode. Yeah. You got a solo mode in Master Duel. Yeah, you're right. I played it, but I always skip the actual story. I always just play it, you know. The trap cards are actually pretty good, even now since they deal with shit. It was using Fable decks. Huh. What is this? This is a sword?
Marauding Captain.
Okay. This guy is also in a lot of cards. This is the guy from what is it called? Rota, right? And he's in many cards.
Murdering Captain. I don't care if he is useful. I'm not gonna put a cold-blooded murder in my deck. I'd rather have a marmalade I don't know how to pronounce.
The captain
What the hell?
appears to be a part of Freed's army, but he goes through a lot more than his general. His first task seems to be assaulting the goblin attack force. Since that was simple enough, now it's time for the next logical step. Go fight the devil, or despair from the dark if you want to be more accurate. Freed helps him out with this daunting task.
It's just some average JRPG stuff.
But the battle is not over yet, since Blazing Inpachi and Invader of Darkness attack the captain after he finds his new ally, Gaga Gigo. While we never seem to get a definitive outcome to this fight, we
Interesting.
see the warrior returned alive.
Oh,
assuming
yeah.
this card speaks the truth. However, he only has one sword now, so it's likely after that battle, he fought the Archfiend King, who shattered his sword, leaving a haunting feeling in the captain. Or maybe he just ate some bad shrimp, which I guess he cooked because he became a chef briefly when helping Freed's troops. But downtime is sparse as an invading army attacks, calling for the captain to be a reinforcement of the
Such an iconic card.
army. The army doesn't do very well, so the captain takes on his motivating captain persona. He gets yelled at by the tyrant, gets his wounds tended, and is thrown back onto the battlefield as Free gets...
What is this card? Target one monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. What? He's in defense position because he's just thrown by the healer? Interesting.
Gets all the special treatment, and no one bothers to remove the arrows from his back during any of this. This war is not going well. And just to add more chaos to the mix, Gaga Gigo returns for revenge against Freed and is more cyberized. Freed may not be able to defeat him, but the captain tries to reason with his former ally. During all of this, somehow a dimensional portal opens up, which is apparently a common occurrence as we're about to learn in upcoming entries, and throws both characters into different realms, ending the captain's story for now.
Interesting.
Number
I really
4.
like that. I really like that. It's so cool to have those monsters. I feel like we don't have those anymore, right? Is it common to see new monsters in these cards, in cards like this? I need to think of it. I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is like more in cards that just appear in stuff like that. From the Dark is also just always coming out. Not as common, mostly OGs. Yeah, they keep reusing the same iconic monsters, I'm pretty sure. We'll see.
Or Lady Warrior of the Wasteland.
Wait, what?
The Wasteland is not where warriors should hang out. I thought Sojin was their field of choice. I think she needs a more fitting homeland, and she soon gets one in the different dimension. After tying in a fight against Warrior Digreffer, she gets flung into a portal. The portal that opened dragged her into the different dimension arm
Arma
first.
cut.
The force was apparently too strong for her, since the next time we see her, she has a metal arm and is a different character
Oh,
entirely.
wait, this is DD Warrior Lady. I was like, wait, what? Who's that? And, okay, is this one? Alright.
Becoming different dimension warrior lady. While there aren't exact reasons why other parts of her outer appearance changed, we see her experiences in the different dimension changed her in ways to make her a better warrior.
Uh-huh.
She got a cool sword and was recruited to be in an army. Plus, Warrior Digreffer found
They are always fighting, right? In a lot of art, it's always the two of them fighting.
his way into this dimension where they had their rematch.
I think the reason why Warrior Digreffer and Warrior Lady hate each other so much is because he doesn't meet the criteria to be summoned by her effect, and that pisses him off something awful. Either that or he's
That is such
still
a weird
happy,
headcanon.
that dirty rat.
Anyway, the fight ends in a draw because the dimensions love to shift randomly, causing the warrior lady to explore even more dimensions. All her wandering finds her the different dimension gate, leading to what I hypothesize is her endgame battleground. In this dystopian purple land,
He's crashing on her.
the warrior lady takes down an evil mutation of Warrior Digreffer. After this, she experiences her last dimensional shift with Dimension Fusion, returning her home with DD Warrior and a bunch of other characters. What was that whale doing here? There are a few other currently anime-only cards that do expand her story, but overall, I'm glad she got a
I
happy
really like this card. It looks so cool. Like, the art is a little weird, but the idea of it's so awesome. This is banned, right? Pay half your life point special summon as many of your banished monsters as possible. During the end phase, banish all monsters that were special summoned by this effect. Yeah, I think this is banned right now, forbidden or whatever.
ending. I also like the alternate
It's
ending.
legal? There's no way that card is legal, is it?
Currently anime-only cards that do expand her story, but overall,
Return from a different dimension. Hold on, I need to check this right now. I need to check it right now. Hold on. Return from different dimension Yu-Gi-Oh. In the Yugipedia. Why is it taking so long to load? Hello? Hello? What the? It's forbidden. Or I'm confusing it. No, it's forbidden. It's forbidden. In the TCG, it's forbidden. Yeah. I know. It seems like too much of a broken card to be illegal. Okay, let's keep watching.
I'm
Looks
glad
forbidden
she
to me,
got a
yeah.
happy ending. I also like the alternate ending in the card Guy Dance, where Digreffer tries to seduce
What the hell is this? I need this card, dude. This looks so funny. It looks so dumb.
her, but she's having none of it. I love the art style here. Number 3, Sangan.
Wait, Sangan is in that many cards? Interesting.
I feel when he was created, Konami didn't expect this little gremlin guy to have a major character arc mirroring his time on the ban list. Sangan is just hanging out in Monsterville, planning to
Monster
go on the
Bill.
tour bus from the underworld where he has apparently gone in the past. But as the card mistake implies, he makes a blunder and gets onto the tour bus to Forbidden Realms, being a play on the forbidden card list since all the cards that were on this bus were banned at the time of this card's release.
Oh, that is so
Sandgan,
cool.
terrified, is comforted by Graceful Charity Angel, but trouble strikes as this bus is pulled over for smuggling pots of greed, and the riders on the bus are arrested. I guess the officers thought they were accomplices. It seems a bit random, but let's go with it. Then he's thrown in jail with Witch of the Black Forest, and that's how the story ends. Poor Sandgan, he looked so happy to go on a tour, he just
This is so
wanted to
funny.
have
I
a
love
fun
this.
day.
And I love how the card
Konami
is just called
resolved
Mistake.
this. Make the ending happy. Unless the true ending is Witch and Sandgan combine their powers to form Sandwich and escape jail, I'd accept that. Number 2, Warrior Die Greffer.
Oh,
He
this
was
is different from
prevalent
the
in
DD
DD
one.
Warrior Lady plot, but let's look at his side of the story. Many cards depict him as a wandering warrior battling other monsters that stand in his way, like the Warrior Lady, or creating a team assembled in Cry Havoc and shown fighting dragons in the Allied Forces spell card. But his journey leads him to the paths of destiny, where this story branches out to multiple outcomes. By going down the light path, he might find the array of revealing light. I assume this light transforms him into either Light Ray Greffer or Ryu Senshi. I tend to think it's Light Ray if he goes down the light path, because
He looks so bad. He looks so ass.
then see him acquiring new weapons from Swords at Dawn, turning him into Gemini Knight
This looks way better.
Greffer. Now hold on to that card for a second because we have to go down the dark path of destiny. Here he finds the Gravity Axe, which rejects him, so he crawls over to the painful return path, which gives him the choice of evil or evil, so naturally he chooses evil. How unexpected. He can pick Dark Greffer on the right, where he is overtaken by the Dark Light, but the canonical path seems to be the one on the left, where he finds the Sword of Guardian Bow, which combines Die Greffer's body with Bow's, creating Dark Lucius.
Oh, that is so cool. There is like a multiple path storyline for this. I love it. That is so awesome. I guess that doesn't happen. That is not something as common, I guess. Fan card lore is such a fun, wacky idea. I love it. I love that. We also got recent cards like How Did I Get Here? Wait, really? This is a real name? Which is DCG exclusive card that dealt with the field spells? Oh, that's awesome. Well, I bet we're gonna see those later.
Lucius
Well, in a later video, not in this one, right? If it's kinda recent.
DD Warrior Lady in whatever dimension they're in, who slashes him into some portal, which somehow puts him in a realm where Knight de Greffer also exists, showing a different dimension could be Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse. Then Premature Return spits the Knight back out into the regular universe, one of my favorite parody cards, which may be why Lucius is still in the other dimension fighting the Warrior Lady, so switch around those last few scenarios if that's the case. The final twist in this is the monster called Eater of Millions may have caused all the dimension shifting, since the monsters on Premature Return are absorbed by him in card form on his card, showing a monster that exists outside the fourth wall may be the ultimate culprit. Honorable mentions are cool, so let's do some.
Oh, thank God.
Inpachi's involved in that captain story and the #1 entry, so he deserves a shout out. Basically, he goes from living tree man to tree man on fire to sad extinguished tree man to giant robo tree man. The royal similar fate, Imperial Order. This king seems to be different from the tyrant, but with a similar fate. There's a bunch of rebels that catapult rocks into his castle, which has minor differences from the tyrant's
Oh, it's always the same castle?
The rebels then storm the castle after weakening defenses. Did Yu-Gi-Oh really have two royal revolts happening at the same time, or is this king related to the tyrant and I just missed something?
I mean, that is, I mean, not at the same time, right? But isn't that kind of what happens? Hello, Jankmaker. Welcome, welcome. That has like 7 variant stories. Whoa. Whoa.
something. Anyway, that's all for the honorable mentions because it's time for the top pick.
Alright, number 1. Is it Frog the Jam?
No, it's not Frog the Jam. That would tear apart the fabric of reality if it was. But it is a green animal-like creature. Number 1 is the most extensive storyline I've seen, and he's intertwined with some of the others I've discussed so far.
Oh, that's gonna be
Gaga
huge.
Gigo. Quite the name there. He was the first in his card line to come out, but in Gaga Gigo Begins, we learn of his
Gaga
origin
Gigo
as the
Begins.
tiny Gigobite. Even his card lore implies he has a
Gigobite.
large adventure ahead of him. In his youth, he hung out with Area the Water Charmer, and it was a merry day for all. By discovering the triangle power, Gigobite digivolved into Gigabite, who did not do much for the story. He might have been the companion of a future version of Area, or that could have just been Gaga Gigo since they hardly have any discernible traits without the electricity. Let's assume everything is Gaga Gigo from now on.
Okay.
He apparently leaves Area, adventuring the land, ice skating, and getting into that fight with Freed, which leaves him stuck in another dimension.
In another dimension!
While wandering that dimension, he meets the Archfiends, which
Seeing Gigobite in the Charmers anime. Oh, right. That's the guy should be there. Yeah.
sounds like it could be the name of a charming family sitcom, but they're hellspawns, and they attempt to sacrifice him. Somehow Gaga Gigo escapes and ends up in that cell battle mentioned in the captain's tale. At the height of the battle, Gaga Gigo defends one of the captain's allies from Invader of Darkness in return for the captain saving Gaga Gigo earlier. Ironically now, the reptile shares allies with one of his greatest enemies, Freed.
Reptiles and soldiers make strange bedfellows.
In that fight, he was severely injured and met with the scientist Kozaki, who was willing to help Gaga get stronger with cybernetic
Kozaki?
enhancements. This would improve
I feel like that guy also has his own like storyline.
his body for rematches against the Invader or Freed. He ultimately chose the latter, but first Kozaki chooses an efficient and quick method to get this reptile's new Giga form out of his lab. Freed seems to have acquired a draining shield though, which easily defeated Giga Gaga Gigo. With his madness increasing when trying to beat his rival, he seeks out Monster Gate, which powers him up even more. But as Go Giga Gaga Gigo's card lore
Go Giga Gaga Gigo.
states, he has basically forgotten why he's doing all of this and just lives to kill all those that stand in his way soullessly. He seeks out Freed once again, and marauding Captain tries to get through to his former ally to stop this insanity. Gaga seems to power up one more time, and the Captain throws him into another
I never seen this one. That is so cool.
dimension where the
So this is the guy that shows in the other cards. Okay, that makes sense.
reptile currently wanders. Maybe he'll get back to his old self someday, but that ends the current chapter of Gaga Gigo at this time.
That was awesome.
What
That
did
was
you
awesome.
think of
I don't
these
like it. You know what? I'm
choices? Were there
subscribing. I'm liking and
backstories I
subscribing.
ignored that deserve
video.
recognition, or even parts of backstories I left out? Were all these tales the perfect bedtime story compilation? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all
Right
for
now I cannot
watching, and
think of
thanks
an
to
obvious
AT
one.
for helping out. Check out his channel if you feel so inclined for video game reviews and other content. I've even done some guest voiceover in a few of his videos, like his
Whoa.
Did You Know Gaming Parody Anime Edition I've mentioned in a previous video. Anyway, comment and click the clickable things if you'd like, and we will see you in the next video.
Awesome. Where is some obvious one that I'm missing? Honestly, I cannot think of anyone right now. I mean, I'm sure there is, right? But I cannot think of like an obvious one. I cannot think of anything. I mean, I know that Charmers Forbidden has a fun backstory. Forbidden? Honestly, they missed a trick with making Gaga Gigobas a Gagaga monster for Yuma. Nah, I feel like that would be unbalanced. Oh well, there is Albas and Diablos. Yeah, but those are like more recent ones. Yeah. Well, interesting. We want to watch more of these videos definitely in the future. So yeah, thank you for recommending it. Oh, forbidden droplets. Oh, you're right. Like the one for forbidden droplet. It's the forbidden chalice and forbidden lance. That's the one, the same like storyline with the solemn cards, right? Like solemn judgment and solemn strike, right? I think they are. Yeah, that's a really good catch. Also, the solemn cards being God punishing the girl from forbidden cards. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna see more of that, I bet. Okay. I also like the Eldritch storyline. Eldritch wasn't the goal he was after. Oh wait, what? Interesting. Most traps gotten banned because of the fact that traps are slow as hell. Yeah, you're right. Tangan was totally framed from a crime he didn't commit. He wasn't even framed, right? I don't think he was on purpose. I think he was just in the wrong place, wrong time, you know? I had left a link for making dual this. Did you happen to react to it or not considering it? I mean, right now, I'm trying to focus on other stuff, but yeah, if you want me, I can watch it on my own time, but I don't think I'll be able to react to it on stream because we're running out of time and we need to upload like 7 videos per week, and I only can record it one time per week. Yeah, okay, let's go to the next one then. Let's go immediately for the next one. Okay, we're not watching this one. We don't have time. Okay, we don't have time for this. Well, we have to watch this one, I guess. We don't have time for more. Yeah, I guess this is gonna be the last one then, because we don't have time for more. Tenji also has lore that could easily be an RPG game where two friends go to learn how to ascend to dragons. Interesting. Dude, what is this? What is going on, dude? Yeah, let's watch. Oh wait, hold on, the volume.
Are 7 magical objects that were created from a dark spell for the original purpose of fighting against an unwinnable threat. The Millennium Key, the Millennium Scales, the Millennium Necklace, the Millennium...
I think that's fine. I have a suggestion. Way back before all his recent collabs, Simo did a what if Yu-Gi-Oh had Magic the Gathering Pokemon cards reacting to other games' effects that may be worth some jugs. I mean, you can share it on the Discord. I will appreciate it, and we can see. The thing is, like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like an hour-long video, and I'm right now I can't react to. I would love to. There's so many videos that are like documentaries. There is also this video that have been recommended like 4 times about how Sexal is like the new Yu-Gi-Oh. Like it's like a retelling of the same story or something. That video I want to watch, but it's like over an hour long. So right now I can't. In the future I will when I have more time to stream. I need you to like and subscribe so I can focus more on that instead of my regular job. Yeah, I need to pay rent, so I cannot stream every time. Enigma's video was the Yu-Gi-Oh remake nobody noticed. Yeah, exactly, that one. I want to watch videos like that. Like I want to sit here like the whole day and not even re-upload them and stuff. Just having a full stream just to watch one video. That's what I want to do. Oh, I use this video to make cards out of the Millennium items. Huh. There was a really silly video about how Yu-Gi-Oh is a sequel to Dragon Ball. That is so weird. That is such a weird sentence to read. Honestly, the Egyptian puzzle seems like the weakest of the... You mean the Millennium puzzle, right? On the Millennium items? But was more so just held the soul of the pharaoh, like phylactery for the lich. I don't know what that is. It will make more sense when I finish Excel. I guess I will watch. I should watch Excel first. That will make more sense, and then watch it. I'm pretty sure by the time I finish Excel, I will have time for this, or I will have quit YouTube. One of the other, one of the two, definitely. Posted the cards on the reaction channel. Maybe make an art channel. An art channel. I used to have an art channel. But it gets weird with people like uploading AI and stuff and not creating people, so probably not the best for now. Phylactery is just an item that holds a lich soul that lets them be near immortal and dead. Oh, I had never heard of that. But yeah, it sounds just like that. You're right. Alright, chat. Wait, hold on. All who shield the LLMs and their wars deserve only the Shadow Realm. LLM? What is LLM? What am I doing? What the hell? Oh my. Pyramid schemes? What? What do you mean pyramid schemes? What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? What are you trying to say? I know what a pyramid scheme is, but I don't know what you're trying to say right now. Large language models, the proper term for much of what is called AI. Ah, okay, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Large language models. That is the proper term for what we are calling AI right now. Interesting, I didn't know that. Awesome to learn. I'll keep it in mind. Alright. Let's try to focus on this. The true powers of the Millennium items. Let's watch.
The Millennium items are 7 magical objects that were created.
I'm familiar
through a
with
dark
this, yes.
spell for the original purpose of fighting against an unwinnable threat. The Millennium Key.
I don't
the
remember
Millennium
much of the last
Scales,
season
The
of-
Millennium Necklace.
You know what happens? I'm already like pausing the video, but you know what happens to me? Because I watched the first 2 seasons or the first 2 arcs, right? Like the when it was on TV and we have nothing to watch. Yeah, I'm already doing this. Back in my day, we have to watch the things on TV, so there was always reruns of the first things, like a Duelist Kingdom and Battle City. I watched those many times, right? Also the thing that was in between, the arc that was in between the Battle City. Yeah. There's a door barking outside, but yeah, it's too late right now. We're already reacting. So I remember those, but I don't remember much of the last arc for some reason. I have more memories of GX and the first season of GX, the first arc, like that I watched many times, but not from the last season of Duel Monster for some reason. Also because TV, endless flashbacks. Yeah, exactly. I was told you that was just good. They didn't rerun the last arc. Oh, they didn't? Interesting. Okay, maybe I'm not going crazy then. Because I don't remember much of it. I should probably rewatch this.
The Millennium Eye, the Millennium Rod, the Millennium Ring, and the Millennium Puzzle. All of these items possess a handful of abilities that they grant their wielder, as well as one very powerful exclusive ability unique just to that item. Today, we're going to be learning exactly what each Millennium item can do in its entirety. However, before we can do that, we need to first learn how these things came to be.
Oh, thank God! Thank God! I really need to
3,000
know
years
this.
before the start of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters series, a great war took place in Egypt. The pharaoh of the time had led his city and people to the brink of destruction. This had happened because he wanted peace against an army that had no intention of backing down.
Oh no!
Under intense pressure, the pharaoh finally agreed to take the advice of his brother Akhenaten, who told of a book that housed a spell that was able to awaken an ancient power. This
I've never seen this character. I really feel like I've never seen these characters before.
book was known as the Millennium Spellbook. The pharaoh agreed and ordered his brother to decipher the book and use its magic to win the war. Akhenaten did as he bid. However, he soon realized that the spell to create this ancient power would require a great cost.
No, I'm sure this was in the dub. I'm pretty sure this was in the dub, right?
That cost being 99 human souls. Knowing that the pharaoh would never agree to such an inhumane act, Akhenaten chose to keep this dark deed a secret, believing the lives of the many outweighed the lives of the few. And so, Akhenaten and his soldiers, under the veil of night, crept into the city of Kul El Nar and rounded up 99.
Wait, you're just gonna kill like 9 random people instead of like, I don't know, criminals?
Criminals.
Oh,
Their blood,
okay. Okay. Wait, hold on.
Kul El Nar, and rounded up 99 known criminals.
Okay, cool. I mean, if you have to, right?
Their blood, bones, and flesh were thrown into a melting pot of gold. The deed was horrific. However, from it birthed 7 of the most powerful items in the entire world. With each of the pharaoh's high priests wielding one of these items, they were able to decimate the invading army by summoning creatures of war
Jesus.
through the item's dark magic. So that's how these things came into being. Now, what can they do?
Alright.
The Millennium items come in 2 categories, those of justice and those of darkness. The Millennium key, scale, and necklace, and those that wield them, embody justice. This
Okay.
influence of justice is derived from the purpose in which they were made for, to save lives and prevent suffering. The
Yes, criminals, in quotation marks. No chance they were just considered such by the government as an excuse to justify their actions, sure. You might be into something.
Millennium ring, rod, and eye, however, and their wielders embody darkness. This influence was derived from the way that they were created, as they were forged through a horrific act. But you will all notice that there is one item missing, the Millennium Puzzle. The Millennium Puzzle represents both of these moralities, justice and darkness. As such, the one that wields the Millennium Puzzle is capable of doing great things in the world, and just as equally, they are capable of horrific acts. So those are the Millennium items.
The Lost
influences.
Season.
Now what are their shared powers? All Millennium items grant the wielder the power to instigate a shadow game. A shadow game occurs when 2 people are locked in a battle. A purple mist will envelop the area around those involved. The purpose of this is simply to prevent any outside interference, making whatever game is being played unable to be interrupted. The choice of game played, the unique rules of that game, and the price of losing that game are determined by the one who instigated the shadow game.
Doesn't sound fair because it's always such a random thing, right? It's always so like random thing that you include in the shadow game. And I don't know if there is like rules about it exactly. Like what is the extent of it?
It is very important that you obey the rules that are laid out by the person that instigated the shadow game, as any attempt to break the rules will result in an extreme punishment. Also, the loser of these games is usually always subject to some sort of steep penalty. Getting your mind erased, your grandfather's soul being sealed inside of a card, the darkness inside of you being exorcised, or what seems to be the default option, having your soul just ripped from your body. I mean, getting sent to the Shadow Realm. No one dies in Yu-Gi-Oh! All Millennium items grant the wielder a much higher immunity to the Shadow Game's atmosphere, as well as a higher immunity from other Millennium items' influences. So for example, Marek can't mind control somebody else with a Millennium item just to make them give him their Millennium item. Or Shizu can't really see the future of Millennium item wielders, since they are able to defy destiny due to the fact that they hold a Millennium item.
Is that true?
A great example of this is where Joey is possessed by Marek. Due to his strong will, he is able to subdue Marek's influence. However, it's only until Yugi puts the Millennium Puzzle on him does Marek's influence completely disappear.
Interesting.
There is one exception to this.
Okay,
which I think
there
is
is an
more of a
exception.
plot hole, and that is the fact Pegasus's Millennium Eyes ability, which we'll talk about a bit later, does not seem to be negated at all by Yugi's Millennium Puzzle. That is unless
Aha.
you count the fact that Yugi and Atem could switch souls, that kind of negated that ability. All Millennium items grant the wielder the power to summon and communicate with duel monsters' spirits. Though this mainly occurs in duels by giving the monsters tangibility, causing real-world damage to each other, it does occur outside of duels as well. All Millennium items grant the wielder a small degree of mastery of magic.
Now what does that mean? What does a small degree of mastery over magic means?
While not Harry Potter levels and certainly not Gandalf levels of magical mastery, get some sort of small-time level 1 magical spells.
Level
For
1
instance,
magical
you can
spells.
project yourself over a long distance. Maybe
I don't know, that sounds kind of strong to me.
you put yourself in a TV screen, cast a spell on people to force them to fall asleep, create a barrier around yourself to stop yourself from being burned alive. You know, little things like that.
Yeah, see, that now that doesn't sound so like small. Too bad we can do IRLs so I can show you. What are you talking about? Oh, that's telekinesis. Yeah, I guess if you can call it telekinesis. Yeah. Wonder what is will make of Judice or the other I haven't I don't know anything about that.
Finally, it is believed that all Millennium items grant the wielder a single wish when first obtained. It's hard
I've
to
heard
say
about
if this
that.
ability applies to all the Millennium items or specifically just the Millennium Puzzle, but just hear me out for 1 second. Yugi
You wanted
wished
friends?
for the ability to make bonds with others.
Okay.
Following the completion of the puzzle, he made countless new friends on his journey. So, Yugi had his wish granted there, okay? Bakura was also a lonely child, and he too wished to make friends. While not shown in the Duel Monsters anime, if we turn to the Toei animation, we see that the Millennium Ring was actually granting his wishes of gaining new friends. However, to be fair, this is kind of like a monkey's paw thing. It was actually Yami Bakura granting his wishes by sealing people inside of like little figurines
Eesh.
as his friends. But eventually, Bakura did become friends with the main cast of Yu-Gi-Oh! So he did get his wish as well. Maximilian Pegasus wished to be reunited with his long-lost love Cecilia.
But that
Upon
didn't
having
happen.
the Millennium Eye implanted into him, he was able to see and hold his
Yeah, I don't think that
albeit
counts.
only for a very short time. Rather than seeing this as closure, saying goodbye to someone for a final time, Maximilian Pegasus kind of went the opposite direction with this. Pegasus saw this as an opportunity to actually bring his wife back from the dead, as he truly believed that if he gathered all 7 of the Millennium items together, it could grant this wish. Marek most likely wished to be free from the shackles of his Tomb Keeper duties and to be able to see the world. This is something that would come to pass after he freed himself, unfortunately, with the Millennium Rod. His sister Ishizu most likely wished for a brother and Odeon to be able to all live happily together. And although it would take a while, this would come true. Shadi was
I don't know, it's kind of weird, right? Because some of them like took a lot longer than others. The one for Yugi was basically instant, right? And the other ones are, I guess Pegasus one also was kind of instant, but not really what he wanted. I don't know.
always kind of an obscure character. However, thanks to the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, we actually got to see what he wished for.
The fact that Pegasus was straight is the yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I don't know. It feels weird, right? Because you see the character and you always assume something, and then oh, he's actually like married, right? He was actually married to a woman, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? Interesting. I still refuse to accept that Pegasus is 24. Yeah, there is so many weird things with Pegasus, right? How is he 24? Like, I feel like he should at least be like 30, right? And that's being generous. Like 24 doesn't seem right at all. I guess he didn't have to be straight. You're right. Like, I remember it, but still. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, he's also like 24 and he's meant to be like a successful millionaire artist and game designer or whatever, right? Yeah, he owns a massive company, and he was, you know, the worst part about it is that he was an artist, right? He was a painter. The game design like came out of nowhere, right? Same with the how he became like an archaeologist, businessman, and he's 24, and he's 24 like at the time of the story, but he was successful like way before. For comparison, Darts was only 21. Well, okay, Darts had a very different life, I think. Like, Kaiba is one thing, but he's supposed to be a child prodigy who took it from his adopted father, so makes sense. I guess Kaiba makes sense too. I guess you could say that. Like, because he took it from his what's his name? Kusaburo or something? Yeah, that makes sense. I guess. I don't know.
He wished for all of the Millennium items to be reunited in the tablet of the Pharaoh's lost memories. This was so that when the door to a new world was opened, those that wished could enter, now being free from all hate and discrimination of the world. The fact that Shadi actually had 2 Millennium items, you could say that both of these items were trying to grant the same wish for him. Fun fact, Shadi actually gets killed by Bakura. Yeah, Shadi is a ghost the entire time you see him from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters series. So maybe his second ability was to foresee the completion of this by still sticking around. Possibly. However, what I do know is their individual powers. Let's start first with the Millennium Puzzle.
Okay, what does this actually do?
Grants the one who solves it the ability to draw upon its power to help in dire situations.
Oh.
This is a fancy way of saying that if you are in the middle of a duel and you're about to lose, you're in a really dire situation. However, you know that there is a card in your deck that could help you out in this situation if only you would draw it next turn. The power of the Millennium Puzzle.
Oh, so what people usually hello, Kuronin. Yeah, so what people used to call like, oh, Yugi's cheating is actually like an ability of the of the Millennium Puzzle. Okay, dude.
Will help you out here and increase the chances of you drawing that card on your next turn. And the more dire the situation, the more powerful this ability becomes.
Literally plot armor. So
the Millennium
true.
Puzzle gives you a luck boost. However, remember, the Millennium Puzzle is the strongest of the Millennium items.
Is it?
And it possesses the power of justice and darkness. So that means it holds a second power. The Millennium Puzzle also grants its wielder the ability to seal a soul inside of the puzzle, locking whomever is sealed by binding them with a single word. In the case of a 10, he seals himself and Zork necrophades using his name as the lock and key. After this, all records of a 10's name are destroyed. This is to prevent Zork from ever being freed again, because if no one knows the Pharaoh's name, no one can unlock the spell. The Millennium Eye grants the one who implants it the ability to look into the minds of others. The practical use of this ability in the real world is you can know what people are thinking all the time, which is really good. However, in a duel, it helps even more as it allows you to see the cards that your opponents are holding and know exactly.
What an ability to have in a shonen about card games, right? I feel like that is huge. That's the thing. If Yugi was actually cheating, he would have been called out for it, like the other characters that. Yeah, exactly. Like people saying that he's cheating makes absolutely no sense. Plot armor, yeah, that's something that I can see it, but not actually cheating.
Exactly what strategies they are thinking of at all times. The Millennium Ring grants the one who wears it the ability to lead you to whatever you most desire. Simply enough, the ring acts as a compass. It leads you in the direction of anything you seek. Practicality in a duel is hard to say. Bakura never uses this thing in a duel to help him out at all, so it could be assumed it's not helpful. However, I guess you could make a case that, let's say you wanted to destroy a card in your opponent's side of the field, but they're all face down. Maybe the ring could lead you in the right directions by sort of pointing at a powerful monster, a trap card, or a powerful card in the hand. That's just a theory, a Yu-Gi-Oh theory. However, unfortunately, the Millennium Ring is also corrupted with the fragments of the souls of Zork and Thief King Bakura, which is a shame because if I could have any Millennium item, I would probably pick the ring. It's a shame I'm gonna get possessed in the process. The Millennium Key grants the one who wields it the ability to unlock the door to a person's soul and enter it. Inside you see
What the hell?
everything that makes up a person. Their hopes, their dreams, their personality, they're all personified as rooms in the soul. However, you aren't limited to just looking around. You're also able to rearrange the—
What is he wearing? What are those pant shoes? I just believe it's a significance of names to souls in Egyptian folklore, literally part of the soul. That archetype function as they do. My name. I didn't know that. It's why a lot of cards for Atom, like through name, let you declare card names. Oh, interesting. I'm so mad the ring was never used that way. It will explain some of Yami Bakura's plays. The ring was telling him what plays to make for most likely course of victory. And it doesn't happen in the anime? I feel like it's so telegraphed, like something that definitely will happen.
The rooms inside. By doing this, you can alter a person in any way you want. Essentially, to be blunt, you are incepting ideas into people's souls and changing their character.
Like
yes,
Inception?
Just like that movie.
Yes.
Practicality.
No way he predicted my thing like Inception. Yes, dude. Okay.
Kind of a hard one. I don't really know how you could use this ability in a duel. I guess you could change their personality to make them play more defensive to sort of match your playstyle, or more aggressive because you got loads of traps. Big brain, we figured it out. Never mind. The Millennium Rod grants the one who wields it the ability to control the minds of others.
Little mind
Basically,
control.
uses ability to bewitch people to serve you. Not only can you have just mind slaves though, you can also project your own mind into one of these slaves and duel through them. If you can't be there in person, or you want to send a couple waves of minions after people to sort of wear them down or defeat them before you even get there, that's quite helpful. And of course, the super secret power of the Millennium Rod that I forgot to mention. The Millennium Rod also comes with a handy dagger. The Millennium Necklace grants the one who wears it the ability to see into the past and future. This power gives the wielder the ability to see short glimpses of the past, to know where people came from, who they descended from, and just global events that you need to know about. And of course, you can see what will happen in the future. Very, very useful if you're going into a duel, as you will essentially know everything you will draw and every move your opponent will make. And this would be an overpowered ability, except for one thing.
What's the
Those
thing?
with a strong will, able
Those
to change
with
their
a
fate
strong
can
will.
defy
Sure,
what the
dude.
Millennium Necklace sees. Seto Kaiba, for example, was able to defy fate and defeat a Shizu.
Hold on, what does he say there?
Sees. Seto Kaiba, for example,
Is it possible that his memory is sealed within the Millennium Rod? It was not to take anything away from Kaiba's badass moment, but the Millennium Rod, past life used to wield this, helped him out. This also reinforces Millennium items resist the powers of other items. Okay, now this makes more sense. Like, Kaiba is still really cool, but this is an actual explanation.
was able to defy fate and defeat a Shizu in a duel, even though she had foresaw his defeat. The Millennium Scale grants the one who wields it the ability to sense lies and deception, while also revealing the level of darkness a person has in their heart. Very practical in a duel. By using the scale, you can sense when an opponent is trying to trick you or lure you into a trap due to deceit. Never fall for trap cards again. That's a really cool power. However, outside of dueling, the ability to just know when someone is lying to you is something that I think a lot of people would love to have. Also, being able to know if a person you're talking to is not a good person, this will definitely help with who you decide to be your friend. That's also a good power. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can also do one more thing. If the darkness in someone's heart is so great, well, the scales will instantly kill them.
What is this? I like how this implies that there is just like good and bad, like that the world is like black and white, that there is like bad, like just good and bad people, that just straight up, and if you're like really bad, you just die. I love that. Thank you, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes. And with that, that is all the powers of the Millennium items explained. Thank you all for watching. Catch you later. Bye everyone.
Really cool video, really cool video. Honestly, now I can now I feel so knowledgeable about Yu-Gi-Oh. Now I can pretend that I actually remember what happens in the anime. Totally. The scale of Anubis, basically. These are the scale used by Anubis to weigh the sins of humans. Oh, it's an actual thing. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Well, I'm so sorry. But yeah, dude, amazing video. I like it, I really like it. An actual Anubis, not the anodyne rendition in that stupid movie. Well, of course. I know what you're talking about, don't worry. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, thank you so much everyone. Fun stream, really cool videos today. And I will see you on Thursday. Remember, chat, we have, hold on, we have a tournament coming, and we're gonna be deciding the rules, basically. Like, I'm gonna confirm the rules with you. I don't wanna like say, oh yeah, these are the rules without consulting with you. So we're gonna talk about the rules and how you're gonna be able to join on Thursday. On Thursday we're gonna get into detail about that. So yeah, I will see you there. And on Friday we have collab too. So yeah, we have a lot of cool streams happening soon. And got it, run Vendor. Yeah, you should do that. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Well, this is not the right music to end the stream. Hold on. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Wait. How do I end it? Alright, bye.